What is going on, Duckers? And thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Decoy Livestream Podcast. I am just making a Instagram post right now, so I didn't want to just keep on delaying this. I know we're a bit late. You think this is the new GTA 6? Essentially, it is the new GTA 6. Let me just... I am like a very old... Oh, what the hell? Very old man when it comes to social media. I am trying to just add an extra image. Yeah, you see yourself on the chat. That's cool. What's up? It's glad to see you guys over watching on the different platforms. I honestly... I don't want to, but I think that we probably are going to start a exclusive live stream on other platforms just to see how it messes with YouTube. I don't want to be on other platforms only, but hell, man. But I think that it might be advantageous to do it. Jeez, I have way too many pictures on this thing. What the hell? Making moves, yeah. They're gonna announce that New York City's a new GTA 6, essentially, because, I mean, we're gonna go through it, but it's like, if they're not flooding, if they're not overrun with gangs taking over the streets, if they're not overrun with activists taking over nightclubs, they have literal T attacks on their city that the mainstream media is pretty much trying to adjust. No, we're not leaving YouTube. We have the clips on YouTube, which I think is what YouTube wants. I'm just starting to think, do they want the do they essentially want the Asmongold model? Do they want me to be live streaming on other platforms and putting the clips on YouTube to not clutter whatever they got going on over here? Like, I just want to play by the rules. Like, whatever they want of these channels to help them succeed. What the hell? What the heck? Whatever they want out of the channels to help them succeed, I want to do it. It's just sometimes confusing and contradictory, I think the word is. It's the hell? That's not it. Sometimes they just don't they're not clear as to what they want, and also there's people behind the scenes that are doing as much as they can to I don't want to say shadow you, but they want you to fail, essentially. We're live streaming now, and here's a link. What's up, Super SJ? Good to see you here, Maybe Sunshine. All the salty armies still here too. .com. -D. Oh no. @decaf. It's because I play by the rules over here. Let's see if this works. And now, yeah, everything's there. Cool. Perfect. New song for the playlist? No, this is probably just one of the only songs that doesn't play until later on. It's shuffle. I think we got, how many AI songs do we have on this playlist? Doesn't even tell me. 29 songs, an hour and 22 minutes on shuffle, which is an average, like, hour and a half, or 3-hour live stream. You probably hear each song. They average, like, 2 minutes of AI, and then, you'll probably only hear it once in the background. Wait, do you think GTA 6 is going to negatively impact the Republican turnout for the midterms? No, I do not. I can't play anything. I can't play anything because I am deathly afraid of even copyright-free songs. I will use them, then later on they'll change the rights under my nose. And then I remember I had for a long time a backlog of like 30 live streams that all one by one had to be edited to get the intro out because the royalty-free music that I have was being falsely claimed, and it's just better to not even fight it. You gotta just delete it. Gotta diversify these bonds? Yes, we do. Any thoughts on the World Cup final? Don't watch much soccer. I got a lot of friends that are like only been in the country for a few years, so they are big on soccer, football, or whatever. I watched it. I tried to watch Team USA because they seem pretty based. Still not my sport, but I can appreciate what they're doing. Now I know FIFA. I've always heard it was super corrupt. That the same thing that happens in the NBA. Like, I watch a lot of NBA. I have a Celtics championship set up there too. But now I can confirm the same way the NBA wants to have their star teams or international players, their marquee people be in stars, and they'll they'll referee games in their favor to try to force either longer series to make more money, or certain players have bolstered stats so they can be the new superstar. Now we know FIFA does the same thing. Like, I've never seen, and again, this is coming from someone that doesn't really know soccer that well, more biased refereeing, umpiring, I don't even know what you call it. Not play calling. What are you saying? Like, just a very biased game when it became down to Argentina versus Spain. It really seemed like, Messi's a star. You'd like to have him ride off into the sunset, but on top, like right off in the sunset on top, but it just seemed like it was just for them. And then hearing later on that Argentina didn't even shoot on the net, they didn't even have a shot on goal, is insane to me. Because like I kind of try to equate watching soccer to like a very slow, expanded version of hockey, which I know a lot about. And just having no shots on goal seems like you're not a serious team unless you thought that a penalty shootout was going to be gifted to you, and you knew you could win that based on whatever. Spain delivered justice. I'm hearing that a lot. Like, a lot of my friends in the group chat are saying Spain saved soccer. And I kind of feel the same way about certain basketball teams, how they saved their sport by dismantling, essentially, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like, that is a garbage basketball team. Bunch of dirty players. Got a guy that just foul baits all day. And even though he's Canadian, and we're not going to go too far into what his preferences are, none of our business, but just the idea that I have a feeling that after Nikola Jokic, how you pronounce the name, Giannis Antetokounmpo, you had, who was the other international superstar they had? Joel Embiid, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he checks off a lot of the boxes the NBA wants to get, and they just let him be a superstar by giving him foul calls. That Shai Gilgeous-Alexander brand basketball is just not a fun product. Nobody wants to see a guy flopping around like you do in soccer, complaining about everything, and it's just... Is this skill, or is this just you fit a narrative for them, so they're going to gift you games? I think, yeah, you had to get rid of, or you have to stop trying to make SGA the new face of the NBA, and FIFA is doing a lot of the same right there, I think. You're not watching Avengers Doomsday if it has that tool, that Pedro Pascal in it. If that dude, I still think that, like, it might be worth a watch. Like, if it's getting really bad ratings, maybe I'll just watch it on television when it gets there. But I have high hopes for it, maybe because I do like Robert Downey Jr. and I do like the Captain America guy. Forget his name. Like, they may be woke nonsense idiots, but I imagine most movie stars I see in films probably are behind the scenes. Like, I don't get along with whatever Tom Cruise does behind the scenes with his religion, but I don't need to be entertained by Top Gun. So I try to at least, like, detach from it a little bit. Chris Evans, yeah, because doesn't he have, like, 2 other brothers? Or is that the Thor guy? I forget. Okay, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. isn't? That makes sense, though, because I do remember, what was it? It was the, War Machine, Colonel James Rhodes, his actor, and him and, Scarlett Johansson. they had to have like the whole little campaign on Zoom calls for Kamala Harris. Oh, down with democracy. And it's like, that doesn't say what you think it says, but the idea that you had to have the Avengers get together and assemble to try to push or place Kamala Harris at the helm of our military just was kind of a turn off for me. Pretty sure it's Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth, Liam Hemsworth, and I think there's another brother. Yeah, Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle's the guy. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth has the two brothers that are also actors. I forget their name. Yeah, Chris, Liam, whatever. Yeah, Pedro Pascal openly hates people like us, and that's the thing is, he's not good. Like, he's not good in anything I think he does. I think he's the equivalency of a Zendaya, how you pronounce the name. Some people love them, but I do understand not every piece of media needs to be tailor-made for me. Obviously, I'm not their target demographic, so by all means, let other people enjoy stuff. If he wants to double down on hating us, he probably should, because we're never gonna like them. They're just not our cup of tea. Anyone seen the recent Odyssey? I'm wondering how it was, or if you should watch it. I mean, I thought it was terrible. That was hot garbage. I just could not get into it. But with the Odyssey, I could say is, if you're like a Christopher Nolan, like deep cut guy, like you just like everything he does and you want to see it, by all means, watch it. That's fine. This is coming from a guy. I'm saying the Odyssey is trash, but know me. I am somebody that unironically lives their life by the lessons I learned from the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I think that movie got like half a star, but no lie, sitting in the movie theater watching Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, watching the guy Han talk to the Paul Walker stand-in character, and he said he's watching the kids play soccer on the rooftop, and he's like, "Yeah, man, life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back." And I just remember seeing that, and I was like, "Oh man, that's resonating with me. Like this is a terrible movie, not written by imbeciles, but it's a terrible movie. It's not that good." But I was sitting there watching, and I was like, "Yeah, we do overcomplicate things. I do need to just start saying, like, let me just start making decisions and living with them. Don't think about the past." And I've lived my life by that mantra ever since, and I feel like it's made me more successful in business. It got me to quit my regular job to do this, and I've been more successful with this. And it's just family. You were informed by Too Fast, Too Furious. Yes, I did feel seen. I felt very seen in that movie. I was like, that's the life lessons I needed to hear right at that time. And here, this is me saying the Odyssey, which is, I guess, critically highly rated. But then I think Asmongold found the back end stuff saying that the way they're holding some reviews, they actually have a 50% fresh score. But obviously, Hollywood's going to try to juke the stats for that movie. So it's like 99, whatever. It's going to be critically acclaimed. Probably not good for me. I mean, I loved Interstellar, and that's not one of his highest rated movies. So, I mean, I guess for the commoners, it is just not for us. And that's the thing. Is like when they make a movie built for IMAX, mega IMAX, and there was only like 30 theaters for the Odyssey, I would think, this is not them making movies for like middle America, regular people. This is them making movies that pat their elitist buddies on the back and stroke each other's egos on how DEI works. And this is finally like, this is a great moment for us. Only the coastal elites can see this movie in the format we made it for. They don't care about regular people. Let them just sit there and smell their own flatulence. Whatever. We'll watch things like Obsession or Backrooms or Iron Lung. It's movies for academics? Exactly. It's movies for people that have an elevated palate. Like, the thing that I would say is, if you guys are fans of The Wire. The Wire, phenomenal. Not a single second of wasted dialogue. Just like Game of Thrones, the original seasons. When George R.R. Martin was still involved in making the show. The Wire, amazing show. Everything meant something. The Shield, amazing show. hot garbage. It's just bad dialogue, but I equally enjoyed it. I know that The Wire is like having a 4-course meal or 5-course meal. I'm not that fancy. 8-course meal of like very, very umami flavored dishes, and The Shield is like popcorn and candy. Me being a filthy casual, I would much more prefer having popcorn and candy over a very, very fancy dish that I would feel uncomfortable at the restaurant at. So, yes, I prefer a Tokyo Drift over an Odyssey. Critically acclaimed means don't bother more than any time in history. I mean, now that you know that before books come out, I think they said that Joe Biden's writing a book about being president. I'm like, that guy couldn't even sign his own name. He didn't fucking write a book. But apparently on the book already has a New York Times bestseller moniker on it. And what we found out now is the New York Times, it's not bestseller. Like it's sold the best. It's just a thing they hand out, like a participation trophy of, we like you, so now you're a New York Times bestseller. It means nothing. Words mean nothing now. The Shield was a bad show. We're talking about the one with Michael Chiklis. I'm saying it's a bad show in the context of, should it change your life? Was it deep? Was it detailed? No, it was just pure entertainment. Just like the latest Fast and Furious movie. Good lord, a lot of stuff didn't make sense, but it was pure entertainment. I say The Wire and The Shield are both masterpieces, but not in the same context. Shield was an amazing show. It's The Shield, and I tried to watch Oz from HBO. It's one of the only shows that like you can't marathon it because it's too heavy. Like the stuff happening. Like, don't say it in chat. Or what happens to Captain Aceveda? Good, like it's too heavy. You can't watch too much of it, and then you watch the subsequent episodes. You're like, man, I hate this guy, but I hate what happened to this guy, and it's just like, I need to take a break. Like, this is just a fictitious thing where it's kind of funny because it was originally on the FX on like regular cable television, so they can't have profanity, but they somehow manage to wedge that in there, and it's like, guys, highly recommend The Shield, but it's too hard to watch. Oz was an awesome show, yeah, but all the terrible things that was happening in Oz, like I couldn't handle it, man. It was bad. Well acted, gritty stories from the gritty streets of LA. I mean, no spoilers, but what happens to everybody in the cast? It's rough, man. It is rough. 24 never got into 24. Never got in the house. Okay, it wasn't deep, but I own the whole DVD set. I own the DVD set, but the most amazing thing with both The Wire and The Shield is the DVD set's like 1:1 aspect ratio. It's like old school. They've remastered it, made it widescreen, and there's some funny things that, just like in Malcolm in the Middle, when they expanded it to show you the rest of the film, you see things that weren't supposed to be shot on camera. So it's like kind of like watching a director's cut or something. Like you see extra stuff in the show, and it's entertaining again. Oz was great, but got soapy in the final seasons. I couldn't get through the whole thing. It's too rough. But I do know that shows just like whoever makes the original seasons, there's too much turnover in a production crew, and it is rarely what it was in the beginning later on and becomes something else. Like Zombie Simpsons. The Simpsons is not The Simpsons anymore. It is a zombie reanimated version of it, and it's terrible. You say Sopranos is the best show ever. I did not like The Sopranos. Don't know why. I just couldn't get into it. I watch it and I'm like, this is boring. Same with Boardwalk Empire. It should be right up my alley. I'm a weird guy. I liked Bosch. I really like Bosch. I even follow the actor on Twitter. He seems like a cool guy. And then I tried to watch a spinoff about his daughter. It's not as good, but you can tell Amazon did not want to finance the subsequent spinoff. It was very sad. Yeah, Bosch was great. Bosch was great. Bosch was great because you had a lot of people from The Wire in it in very, very different roles. You're watching One Piece right now. I mean, One Piece is just, it's too much series. Like, I don't have the patience for it. I would just say, if you just watch Yu Yu Hakusho. Do I have anything Yu Yu Hakusho in the background? I probably do somewhere here. Actually, I have my, I have Yu Yu Hakusho cards over there. I can't get it. Not the live action. Do not watch the live action Yu Yu Hakusho. It is not the same. What was I trying to look up right now? Oh, Rumble. That's what it is. Once a show hits a massive audience, they try to make the show with messages, and it's always around the 3rd or 4th season it occurs. That would make sense. But I think a long time ago, that stuff was a little bit less prevalent, like in the era of the Shield or the era of Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy was never that great, but honestly, it gets bad later on. Dragon Ball Z is the best anime. The default animes are Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing. That's about it. Yeah, the blue masking tape on the... That's not a fuse box necessarily. That's just a... Long story, but that is a, the G.I. Jeff poster for the comedian Jeff Dye. If he's ever in your area, Jeff Dye, D-Y-E, you gotta go check him out. Best comedian out by far. If you're into my type of humor, you'll definitely be into what he's doing. Cowboy Bebop, never got through that. Even though it's like very, very short in one season, I just never got through the whole thing. The thumbnail picture makes you think of the Bigfoot sighting photos. Let me see. Bigfoot sighting. Oh, yeah, you know, you are right. You are right. I was like, wait, it's just a fire. It does look like Bigfoot did this. That actually is kind of hilarious. It does. You fall off in the dog chasing episode. I think I know what you're talking about. They're looking for Ein, and he just disappears, right? Or no, he doesn't disappear. He has like some data. I never got through it. He has like data or something, and they're looking for him. But yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this right now because New York City, they're facing some issues with another T attack on the federal building in New York City. I guess I'll roll it back. This guy has a full backpack or a full bucket of obviously something very flammable. Looks like it's got some bottles over there too. Guys, lights it ablaze and actually almost gets themselves too because their feet were on fire for a brief moment.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And I honestly just feel like this person had no, like, escape plan. They knew they were gonna get caught. I think that we'll see it later on, but they were like cursing out the ICE agents. They knew they were gonna be arrested. They stuck around the crime scene, and I didn't know what you guys were saying. It looked like some Bigfoot footage. So the coppers are right there.
Get away from there! Oh my god, get away from there! No, get away from there!
Oh yeah, he's cursing them out right now. And he's getting surrounded.
Oh my god!
So there's a better angle of the detainment on this side. That's a huge fire. From a building, everything's going to look small. That's why the thumbnail kind of seems insignificant. But no, this is a large fire. Could have definitely have, according to New York City logic, taken the entire building down. Gauging by who you trust. He's cussing at him right now. Throwing an empty box at him. So this... yeah, the cop gets him. I feel like the guy with the dog was trying to catch him too. So this first security guard, I'm thinking, got him. Oh yeah, firework does go off. And they arrest him. Yeah. They detained him, and this is a longer one from Freedom News TV. Yeah, right outside a security tower. So he knew he was getting caught. He wasn't going anywhere. There was no escape vehicle. This was just to make a political message. You're just an idiot doing stupid stuff. Of course, we have 38 camera angles. I mean, it's New York City. Like, everybody was watching this. Look at how many PTZs and domes are up there right now. Like 360 camera angles to catch this.
Shit's crazy.
And yes, these gates did so much to stop this.
Some guys set off fireworks.
More than fireworks, they were really ammunition. This is serious stuff.
Yeah, I heard it when I was online, and it sounded like a hell of a lot more.
He threw Molotov cocktails.
Hope he gets charged federally, not locally. I'd be curious if since it's a federal building, or is it just on federal? Well, this is a nice facility, right? You said Hassan probably supports this. I wouldn't be surprised if Mamdani supports this. If he's not acting upon what Mamdani has said about ICE and immigration enforcement. It'd definitely be Fed charges. Well, these guys came out fully drawn and everything. They got it. They're bringing the guy back in. Immigration court. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Jacob. Federal Building, 26 Federal Plaza. So, okay. So they got him. But, okay. You saw this large fire being set off outside the Federal Building. And what does NBC News... Like... T tries to blow up ICE HQ in New York City. What does NBC News say? Fireworks set off outside 26 Federal Plaza, so as to say. And in all honesty, yes, there was a firework. You can see it go off here in this better angle, I think. Because there legit was a firework that goes off. I think right here. Yeah, right there. It catches. Okay, yeah. Are they lying? No. I see a firework. Thank you, NBC News, because the most important part of this story is that a small firework went off, not a guy shouting things at ICE outside the ICE facility. ICE Immigration Court. Are they lying, though? No, but we still hate them. Fireworks set off outside, sending smoke billowing. So they got this image, knowing full well they had this image. So at least later on, like if you Google search this article, right now it says incendiary device. So in quotes, incendiary device, which is marginally better than saying firework. Incendiary device deployed outside 26 Federal Plaza. FBI says video shows smoke billowing from the ground outside the 41 office complex. Whatever. Person was taken into custody. Does it ever make any mention to terror? I don't think so. They identified him as Andrew Arabaka. They say he may have emotional issues. It wasn't clear where he's from. I'm willing to bet with all the context here. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that this fine gentleman is not from here. Maybe he is, and he's just like one of these other ICE agitators. But I'm guessing he's not from here. Yeah. Hold the fire. Just the smoke. Let's talk about the smoke. Like this is like them saying 9/11 and them saying, you know, large fire deployed outside World Trade Center. This is where they are right now. But it's I wonder if they even follow up on how bad this was, because here's the video about who he was, has a history of anti-ICE activity, but they say we don't know. We don't know.
Scary device outside a federal building earlier this morning. This is downtown Manhattan. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force at the scene investigating as an anti-government attack. That's what they're calling it. Yes. Smoke billowing outside that federal building. And when ICE officers and immigration court members are there in the building, that's who's located there, as well as the New York City FBI field office. My next guest will join me by phone. He knows that building so well. James Galliano, Fox News contributor, retired FBI supervisory special agent. James, you're with me?
Yes, I am, Harris.
All right. First of all, tell me just kind of the configuration of where this device was billowing smoke, and then what you know about that building.
Yeah, so Harris, as you pointed out, I worked in that building for 2 decades, and as we come up on the 25-year anniversary of 9/11, many of us were at 26 Federal Plaza, the Jacob Javits building, that fateful day. So this is chilling and sobering. Now, having said that, everything that I'm hearing reported about what this individual had, this subject that's been taken into custody, it appears this was more performative than anything.
Yeah, because he had a could have done damage, could have very seriously harmed somebody. So I don't want to say it's only performative. I think he did mean harm to somebody, but he had no escape plan. He was there to get caught.
Shopping cart loaded with fireworks, some liquid that could have been used as an accelerant to start the fire. Yeah. And Harris, he was
airsoft Antifa
with called airsoft guns.
He did have airsoft.
Military and law enforcement to do simunition training. They basically shoot a little pellet. They're propelled by compressed air or gas or spray.
Oh, so he wanted somebody to light him up. This was self-ending by officer. Kind of sad.
They're less than lethal. So this was a performative thing because it was these are imitation guns.
Yes.
The building itself, it's been there since 1963. It is our tallest federal building in the entire country, 41 stories. And recently, when I say recently, within the last decade or so, the screening area was finally moved outside of the building itself on the Broadway side where this attack occurred.
Do you know why that was?
Yeah, well, post 9/11, a lot of changes to federal buildings where people could basically walk inside before they got screened. Now they're screened outside. And Harris, to your point, the Department of Homeland Security has offices inside that building. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has offices in that building. United States Citizenship and Immigration Services and the FBI, when I was in the FBI 10 years ago, I believe we had 8 to 10 floors in that building. So very target-rich environment.
Yeah, and target-rich environment. No, this isn't like postal clerks. These are agents. They're all armed. There's plenty of security there. They brought airsoft with them. They were there to be ended. This wasn't like, yes, they meant harm to people, but I think the most harm they wanted was to themselves.
For somebody that really wanted to do something bad, but this looked more like a performative stunt than anything else.
All right, I'm going to push back a little bit because having covered the Oklahoma City bombing and many things earlier in my career that sometimes could have something that happened before that looked more performative. Not saying that OKC did, but there were other instances where that would happen. This gives someone an idea, if they're paying attention, of how we react with our law enforcement. This gives someone, if they're paying attention and this were their goal, not saying it was in this instance, but anybody watching this now can see how we respond.
Yes, the
can
testing.
see, did ICE come out? Were they in the building? I have a lot of questions about how we respond and everything's on camera. And it's my job to capture it. I'm a reporter.
And the sad part is like, yeah, okay, maybe this person was just not necessarily a martyr, but they were there to test things out, dry run, to see what the response is. They were going to do a lesser sentence. But in left-wing circles, like hyper-left, Reddit, or even on like places like Twitter, you got these people, TikTok. If you do a terrible thing, but it is on behalf of the left-wing agenda, you become automatically a hero to them. Oh, you've been elevated. You're the most interesting person. All of a sudden, all these women want to marry you even though you're behind bars. Like, sad to say, when they commit these acts, these horrendous, dangerous things, they can become a hero in their circles, become instantly popular, essentially going viral for their cause. And it's been incentivized, and it's kind of scary that, like, I'm sure there's plenty of people, Facebook, TikTok, Reddit, cheering them on right now.
But I'm also inside thinking about that law enforcement.
Absolutely. Well said. Sometimes incidents like this will be a probe. This will be somebody testing it out or doing it on behalf of an organization. Yes. Now, we don't know that yet. We don't know if this was someone, either inspired or directed to do this, or this was somebody with psychiatric morbidities. We don't know that yet.
I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. Probably somebody with psychiatric issues, and then also somebody that has been instructed by people taking advantage of said issues.
Lastly, I'll say this. When I was the crisis management coordinator for the FBI in New York City, two things that you just mentioned. We had a robust crisis response plan, how we would respond to an attack. It's integrated with the Federal Protection Services. It's integrated with the NYPD, and a continuity of operations plan. Where would we move our operations in the event that the attack rendered part of that building and our databases, unavailable?
Yeah, that is great information to hear. I know that NYPD and the FBI are on it, and I'm grateful. And thank you, James, for joining me on this breaking news. 20 years inside that building, you know it well.
Yeah, good guest. Good guest. Thanks, Fox News. Infinitely better than what NBC News tried to say. Hey, firework went off. Actually, it was an incendiary device. Let's not jump to conclusions. Let's conveniently ignore the actual fire there, but just try to pinpoint one small thing. But then, New York City, just in a nutshell, is going down. They said at the Boiler Room in New York City, pro-Palpatine protesters attempted to shut down a rave. So you can't even party to, electro music anymore without having them stuff down your throat their agenda. So you're dancing and partying, but no, they literally thought it'd be okay to say, I don't even know what this is. Wet Swide Land? What? Violent theft. KK. Whoa. Somebody jumped on him. Don't permit that, but also don't want this either. Oh, they say the Boiler Room is owned by the evil group. Like, what? They literally can't... You can't even have a party in New York City without them going after you. It is crazy. But the funny part is, I think I had these things not in order, is they're laughing at the idea that Mayor Mamdani talked about what happened outside the Federal Plaza this morning was deeply disturbing. I'm relieved no one was seriously injured and the suspects in custody. My team's in touch with the NYPD and we will support the federal investigation. Our administration will continue to ensure that every New Yorker is safe in the city and hold accountable anyone who threatened that, which is kind of a stronger statement than I would expect him to make. He's usually pro like, let's wait it out and not really be throw that guy in prison, but this is kind of good. And then this guy Lee Kwan Yimby says, please let us know if the suspect makes it safely to your house for dinner tonight. Because they're talking about how on this wasn't the World Cup, it wasn't the finals, the semifinals, he was seen at a photo op over in Rikers Isle with all the prisoners celebrating and watching them play, watch the FIFA semifinals. I guess the one guy that he was seen dapping up was someone that strangled their own spouse or partner to being done. You gotta let that sink in for a moment, where they said, this is the guy that has been accused of saying NYPD should no longer respond to domestic violence calls. And they say, okay, well, you know what? That kind of sounds like Sharia law. But then that was a little bit of nitpicking what he was saying. And I'm not defending him, but the context of his statement on the radio was, I don't want NYPD to respond to domestic violence calls. I want essentially his social workers to respond to it. So he's not saying that domestic V can happen, but he's also saying that we're not going to bring anybody capable of stopping domestic V in New York City. So you mean to say he's lowering our ability to stop domestic violence, and he's also celebrating World Cup games with somebody that allegedly ended their own significant other by strangulation, and is barely even addressing the fact that there is yet another terror attack inside his city, and his very, very limited run as mayor, because somebody said, this is Mamdani's New York City, exactly how he wants it, talking about the other attack, which it's crazy because this happened 4 months ago, and it was, the Lang guy was there, and then somebody shouted AA Akbar. He had an incendiary device again and literally tried to end people. He sucked, it didn't go off. But the idea that these two individuals were there to commit an act of T in New York City, and he barely even addressed it, and we were now not even half a year away, and it happened again. New York City's, they're gonna have some major issues right now because it's not just this, but this is exactly what he wanted. He's been talking about anti-ICE behavior, he's talking about how we shouldn't be enforcing border laws, and now you're even having their director saying, I don't feel safe anymore, and this is exactly what they want.
You know, guys, ICE agents are mom and dads too. They don't hang their heart on a hook every day to do this job. And it's just not attack on the ICE agents, it's attack on their spouses and children, and no one knows that better than me.
And the crazy part is, I've seen people on their channel and saying, yeah, but ICE is separating families too, so we do the same thing back to them. It's like, it's one thing to be enforcing the law and being in danger. It's another thing to be breaking the law and being in danger. And all the narratives they bring up about how, oh, ICE grabbed the kids and held them hostage, and the parents were pleading, crying and screaming, give us our kids back. It's like, no. The story was the father abandoned the kid while evading ICE and would not come back to get them. I think they were playing games in the back of the cop car with the kid, taking care of them because their criminal fugitive father refused to come collect their kid so they can be sent away together. They keep on reframing falsely framing what's happening out there just so they can justify horrendous acts against Americans working a job.
I can't even go get a quart of milk at a grocery store without a security detail. Why? Because I'm enforcing laws in this country. It's pathetic and it's disgusting.
Yeah. And the sad part is again, ex-NYPD copper, very well trained, likely armed every moment of his life, and he is feeling a bit intimidated by these people. Just imagine you having regular guy opinions, not being armed, not being a large individual, or even just being, like I always say, being a small Asian female in Los Angeles, New York City, having law and order viewpoints on things and what they would do to you because they think they're somehow justified in causing harm towards anybody with conservative views because they're defending America or immigrants against fascists when we're not even having the same conversation anymore. Conservatives are saying, protect Laken Riley, an innocent woman like her. And Democrats are saying, don't separate families. One of which is a real issue that we should be talking about. Another one is the ideal scenario where ICE is evil. And I don't know how many times that genuinely happens. And all these stories, we have these like, oh, I was married to somebody. A woman's like, I'm a military vet and my husband is we've been married forever and now ICE is deporting them because such and such. It's like, well, you guys are married. You should be able to sponsor his visa. How come he can't become a citizen when you guys are married? Is it because he has something legally in his background that makes him unable to become a U.S. citizen? Possible a felony, possibly a fugitive from another country. There's always something more to this story, but if they can give you the biggest sob story they can, they then justify horrendous acts like setting ablaze a federal building in New York City, then blaming ICE agents for simply enforcing the law and trying to keep us safe. Yeah, Tom said in Congress, we separate children from families every day when they're a drunk driver or a terrorist. Like, it's not something foreign to make a detainment, but idiots in Congress or just anybody on the left like AOC goes on TV and says, this is kidnapping. They're kidnapping these people. They're disappearing. Masked men with badges are kidnapping our fellow people. And it's like, no. We've made arrests on dangerous criminals for centuries now, but only since the Democrats realize they can use this for free votes and bigger powers in Congress, they've decided to look the other way now. It's very convenient and very sad the way they've managed this. Yeah, it's not even interesting fake news, just DNC talking points. You miss grocery store tabloids. Even the fake news is worse today than it used to be in the 90s. It's crazy how, right now, real news seems like tabloids from the 90s. Like, oh, aliens, here's a government blurry image of a UFO intercepting one of our Navy ships. It's like, this is actually happening right now. Mamdani knows his job is to weaken and destroy anything in the West he can. It's for his purpose, and sad to say, I wouldn't even doubt that his whole operation, as it was a Democrat Socialist of America, they're just here to destroy America. You know how I know this? Because so many instances of the DSA party saying, we're here to destroy capitalism, we're here to destroy America. It's like, why would we vote this in unless the purpose wasn't exclusively to destroy the country? And it's like, they're doing a very good job at it. Yep. They're separating families, crowd. We're more than willing to advocate for the children of plague rats be forcibly taken from them. F these idea political fundamentalists. Exactly. This was the same thing of my body, my choice to government mandated vaccines. Like, you can't have both of those opinions simultaneously. But they did. What's up? You watching all the way over from Vietnam? That's cool. Cool to know that I'm global, especially with the time situation. Like, we had the one guy that he's probably still here right now from New Zealand watching all the time, and it's like, this is a terrible time for them to watch this. For the most part, it's the Democrats saying everything's crazy and people joining in believing that. I think it's the Democrats' official strategy nowadays is, can we rile you up and get emotional and fearful? And if we can control you. No longer trying to serve you and make your life better. It's as if I can get you emotional, I can control you. So just keep spamming those crazy messages. Yeah. But it's good to, yeah, we're live right now. It's good to know that Mayor Basura is finally getting the welcome she's been deserving.
Wait. I cannot hear y'all. The mayor stepped out in her Cortez.
And this is what the Democrats see their people of. We don't have to serve you. We don't have to make your life better. We don't have to, all we're doing is taking your tax dollars, putting it through some weird little pet projects, no big contracts, and somehow we're becoming millionaires in the behind the scenes. But did you see? We wore Nike Cortezes. We wore these ugly ass Jordans that make you a full foot taller because there's 3 different soles on it. Like, this is all garbage. Like, you can't afford things anymore. But look at us. We got brand new shoes. Just like when Mayor Karen Basura used to go to I'm gonna paint over some graffiti in downtown LA. Look at me wearing my Nike Panda Dunks. It's like, those are expensive shoes. They're like $100. These are probably like $90 too. But the idea that I do hard labor and paint over things, getting paint all over myself, and the shoes that you can't even afford. This is what they think of you. This is like Kamala Harris saying, I want to put black men in jail, and I'm going to keep them there as cheap labor. Then later saying, they not like us, and thinking she was going to capture the black vote. They think very little of us. And they're laughing at her. I like how she's surrounded by security down there.
We can get involved through helping our communities, but to the mayor, it's important that we get involved through politics.
The funny part is, I think this is recent, so it had to have been like an 80, 90-degree day, and she's coming out in that blue sport coat again, meaning that she probably wasn't out there for much longer than 10 minutes. Just show her face, show off some shoes, and then see if I can just get this little photo op in. She's so cool, you know it? Sassy and disadvantaged. They're waving bye to her, and even the people within shouting distance are saying, get out of here. I don't even know what this is. And the sad part is, this has to be her target demographic. Actually, no. Her new target demographic is harvested ballots, in my opinion. They're not even trying to serve urban youths anymore. They're just serving, hey, how many people can we just harvest their ballots at old people's homes? And how many people can we have, hey, you're undocumented, but you know what? You got a driver's license. Totally illegal for you to vote, but let's go ahead and register you to vote and vote in local elections. Or even like that other story in California where the woman registered her dog to vote, had been voting in local elections, and was only punished when she tried to have that dog vote in a federal election, who finally did the background saying, fuck your dog. Yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, this seems to be her target demographic of who should be owned by the Democrats, and she went there briefly and immediately got booed off stage. I don't think she's up there anymore, is she? Yeah. Who is this? Am I just out of it? This guy looks like he'd be somebody from my generation of rap music. I don't know. Yeah, they're very out of touch, because right now, right after over in West Hollywood, they had that major pipe leak. It's not the music, but like I said, when it first happened, they're like, oh, it's going to be down for a couple days. Oh, that's Warren G. That makes sense. He's just a little bit heavier. Loved. I want it all. But he's unrecognizable. Thank you, Nikon. But yeah, they said it was going to take a couple days to get this done. I'm like, no, this is going to be weeks, if not months long repair. Because I imagine there's going to be DEI initiatives in here. How can we make sure we're best serving the underclass, the underprivileged races? How much money can we extract from the tax base for other pet projects? Like, this is going to be a very long time. But the worst thing is, you got even Jamie Kennedy, movie star, out there saying, I told you La Brea is happening in real time. My boy sent me this 2 miles from the original sinkhole.
La Brea is flooding right now, bro.
It's sinking.
The water's all under the city, and it looks like a sinkhole could open up at La Brea and Willoughby. I'm not even...
And we've had sinkholes more like north, like in the valley areas, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like the tar pits are down the street. Like, large parts of LA are in danger right now. And it's one of those things of the infrastructure has been so mismanaged that they got all this stuff for DEI initiatives, but nothing for roads.
Lying. Look at this. I'm not fucking lying, dude. These fuckers are planning to destroy LA. They want to build a smart city here. This is fucked up, Jamie. Kind of scary that this fucking road underneath me could open up at any second.
And you're gone. If you go into that, you're done.
Look at this, it's flowing. Not even near fucking La Brea. Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
He's so upset because you're paying insanely high taxes over there. I imagine if you're in like the La Brea area, you got a 2-bedroom and a nice apartment. Crappy apartment, maybe $1,500. Nice apartment, you're probably paying $3,500 to $4,500 a month to live in this filth in your Elysium-style tower where I'm sure your building has nice amenities. You work really hard to be there. You have your own reserved parking spot, so you're doing pretty okay. But as soon as you go outside, paying all these taxes and all these extra premiums to go to the grocery store, like, you can tell you live in LA when you go to Target and you gotta pay $5 for parking, and it's a 2-story Target. Like, it's miserable to be over there. I was there for such a long time, I hate it. But okay, you pay all this extra money to live there, to be in LA, and then it looks literally like Tijuana. Yeah, imagine the smell. Exactly.
Right in the middle of the street. I'm not fucking.
Yeah, look at Ivory Towers here. Look at these nice buildings.
Dude.
He's super upset about that. But the worst part is another broken water main in the Hollywood area. So this is more like, what is it? More north of that? Oh, no, I'm sorry. East of that. This one's reported near 6,000 Santa Monica Boulevard. No crews in sight. LADWP went out there to put barricades up. That should stop it. Again, they're allowing this to happen. You would think that anybody that's worked like fire security in a building knows here's a water main. If something's here, you shut it off immediately. Shouldn't be that complicated. You pay the highest taxes in the world to have services available so they can quickly maintain the city. But I'm guessing if you got hired because you check off your gender and sexual preference boxes, you maybe don't know how to operate the city as much as someone that got there through merit. But again, it's not the worst. You've had 5 water main breaks in 1 week.
That definitely doesn't look like it's going to be the case right now. Crews are still here working. Elliot will show you a live look. You can see the massive sinkhole still here on Sunset. The crews still working on that new pipe. This one of several water main breaks we've reported on this last week. Growing concerns over LA's aging infrastructure below ground. At least 5 water main breaks in just the last week.
I think it's actually not a surprise given how old all of the...
Boyle Heights to Venice. So you have Hollywood, West Hollywood. What was it again? It was Hollywood, West Hollywood, North Hollywood. So North Hollywood isn't really necessarily like bordering. North Hollywood could be like above the 101. Like it can be like Burbank area. They're not really close.
Water main breaks in just the last...
Boyle Heights, Venice. So that's all the way past Santa Monica.
Last week.
I think it's actually not a surprise given how old all of the infrastructure is in the city of LA and
how much money they're spending on not upkeeping this.
How so many pipes haven't been replaced.
The most destructive Thursday in West Hollywood. A 110-year-old pipe blamed for this devastating deluge.
It looked as if like a tsunami.
17 million gallons of water flooding businesses, apartments, and parking garages. 3 days later, more than 200 LADWP workers are still trying to get the pipe back online.
It's impacted us like mentally too, you know.
Oh, probably restaurants are going under too. You don't have running water, you're out of business. It's almost like it's kind of by design. Like I think the Jamie Kennedy buddy was saying they're trying to let this happen because it'll be land grab. And it's almost like, yeah, they want this valuable area. They want you to move out. They want to make things as uncomfortable as possible. Most restaurants are barely hanging on by a thread. Maybe your flood insurance isn't covering the damage that's happening when this occurs. So it's like they can let you go out of business, reclaim the property, and then build spend another $10 million on building a tiny little dinghy or dingbat to house homeless people.
It's been like rough the last few days.
Look at the water line in this parking garage. Now 3 days without power.
Yikes, that's like
and everything's still in here just like it was on Thursday. At least 40 cars just in this.
All totaled, all salvage titles.
One garage caked in mud and debris. In West Hollywood, not alone. Last Sunday, another water main burst in Boyle Heights. And this weekend, 3 more. 1 in Hollywood and 2 in Venice.
So crazy. Oh my God. It's like we're living in the Revelations in the Bible.
I mean, it's not good because I had the same point. When Boyle Heights, they had the freezer catching fire, and it's like, okay, so you have massive fires, and you get the plagues, not the locust swarm, but you have the fly swarms. You had the flooding. You had the plagues.
Crazy. Oh my God. It's like we're living.
Is this how people see me? This is
living in the Revelations in the Bible.
I think there's probably a lot of 110-year-old pipes that need to be looked at in LA right now.
We replace approximately 240,000 feet a year.
LADWP says they replace about 45 miles of pipe each year, or less than 1% of the system that stretches almost.
And it's always disgusting when you look at these pipes and see like the filth inside of it. Me being a filthy casual, when I lived in like a bad part of downtown LA, I remember just like I grew up drinking out of hoses. I just like was not a picky person, so I would just drink water straight from the tap. I'd fill up my ice cube straight from the tap, and that was just how I lived my life. And then later on, seeing when they split open a pipe because we had a flood, it's just like rusted gunk inside of that going straight into your system. And I'm like, yeah, maybe that's why I don't read well.
7,000 miles.
We need to be fixing some pipes.
For some, the focus almost 7,000 miles.
We need to be fixing some pipes.
For
Fox News or Goodnight LA did them so dirty. Like the most incoherent garbage. You didn't have to use that clip, man.
The focus now shifting
Definitely
from the
represents
damage
LA,
above
yep.
ground to the aging system buried below.
The city needs to do so much more to infrastructure here.
Yeah, and they have the money, but it's already earmarked for diversity and homeless harm reduction, which is just like giving them needles.
Their city, and they got to take care of it.
So for now, the sinkhole is still here on Sunset. As you were saying, Susan, officials wanted this to be done by Monday. Clearly, that's not the case. We have not gotten an updated timeline of when this could be complete. We're live in West Hollywood. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Matthew.
Yeah, it's so bad. They always overpromise, underdeliver. That's almost like what it is. But sad to say, is the same things happening over in New York City. Now, obviously, New York City gets floods all the time, but kind of interesting to just simultaneously. Oh no, yeah, this person's in front of the ambulance. Oh, they didn't even play it in the full video of this. This lady in her little assistance cart sinks, and she just falls in there. Like it's happening everywhere, and yeah, Democrat-run areas. No way, no. I'm guessing in New York City, they probably got like very expensive designer shoes on and a fair bit of ingenuity here, but still. Oh, yep. I don't know where this is going, but still. Massive flooding everywhere. But the funny thing is you're not only seeing LA flooding, New York City flooding, both run by DSA or socialists, communists, but now LA's giving out free sidewalk vending carts. So now your area, no matter where you are, you too can not only look like you're living in a third world country, you are now paying to look like you live in a third world country.
LA County is set to give away free food carts to vendors as part of a sidewalk vending program.
Why? I think it was Make LA Great Again. That guy showed a video of Balboa Park. It's in the valley, kind of tucked away from the city, but it's nice. It had sometimes there's like a cherry blossom area. There's a right nearby it. There's a Japanese garden that does like free wine or not wine tasting. What am I thinking of? Free tea tasting ceremonies with actually people in kimonos. Like very magnificent area. Haven't been there for probably half a decade, and now it looks like Tijuana. They allowed food vendors. They allowed people selling T-shirts. It doesn't even look like America, much less a large park to serve all of Los Angeles.
County leaders announced yesterday an additional 200...
Yeah, there you go. Where are the health violations here? Because whenever you see somebody running a majority cash-run business without running water, you're probably going to get, I don't know, not necessarily a parasite, but you're probably going to get a virus of some sort. No running water, cash-only business, one guy running it. You don't gotta be a genius to figure it out.
$50,000 investment, nearly $200.
$250,000 for what? Why are they more entitled to our money than our aging infrastructure?
Health code compliant food carts are going to be distributed. The county says the program helps vendors meet permitting and health requirements and
here's the thing: is if they fail the permitting and health requirements, do they shut them down, or do they just leave and come back tomorrow? There's no enforcement on this. And again, it's just like, oh, we want them to be healthier so they can pass health inspections. No, you just are trying to launder more money.
The county says the program helps vendors meet permitting and health requirements and transition to formal business operations.
They're never going to do it because then they got to compete. They got to pay lease. They got to pay insurance. They got to have parking and pay electricity. It's easier just to leech off the infrastructure and likely send the money away through remittance.
Participating vendors could also qualify for permit subsidies, home kitchen programs, and grants to help them meet permitting requirements. LA County is set to give away free. So you mean to say you break the law, and California turns around and says, not this lady, I think she's a customer. You break the law for long enough, and we will reward you for not only skipping the line, but
Yeah, just breaking the law of vending on the street in the first place. But again, New York City, Los Angeles are tied with these terrible communist ideas.
The city announced a pilot program to replace the generators on food carts with a cleaner alternative. New rechargeable electric batteries now fuel the generators for 10 carts in Flushing Meadows Corona Park instead of gas. The city says the batteries help make the carts less noisy and won't pollute like the current generators.
I don't think that's New York City's problem right now. I think they got some bigger things regarding terror and massive flooding. But if they can take any amount of your tax dollars saying, oh, we're going to make things more green initiatives by giving essentially illegals more green, eco-friendly, free batteries, I'm willing to bet you right now, the battery fails, they're going right back to propane. They're going right back to a diesel generator. This isn't doing what they think it's doing. But again, it's just there to sap more money from your pockets because, again, like I said, Balboa Park over on what is it? Somebody even said Victory in Balboa. Looks like the third world, and now all of New York City. Like, look at this. In front of, what is this? Whatever place this is. A Target, a Popeye's Chicken. Very expensive buildings, large footprint. They now have to compete with whoever bought these pharmaceuticals and just placed them on a dirty table. Like, who would trust this in the first place? I'll never know, but I don't want to be paying top dollar in rent, accommodations, food, taxes, and transportation to live in Tijuana. Third world living at third world living at first world prices. Yeah, that's your pharmacist. And again, the idea that most of this, like, to me, this looks like AI. Is any of this English? Again, I'm no doctor, but Dolo Velibotropas Vitamin Auto doesn't seem like English. It seems like they're serving a very, very specific audience. Yeah, acetaminophen. I'm pretty certain, yeah, Sinex. I'm pretty certain there's probably sales limits on some of these products, and somehow they just appeared here. You're saying expired medicine vendor? Again, none of this should be legal. These people should be in jail. And I always seem too much of a hawk on Law and Order. But no. You put these people in jail to not necessarily reform that person, but to put out the precedence of you can't make the first world look like the third world and get away with it. So now you can't see one guy making $1 doing this, and all of a sudden you see 20 guys making $1 doing this. You nip this in the bud right away. Yeah, that stuff doesn't look FDA approved. I think this stuff is probably from a Target, probably from Costco. They went to Costco, and people say probably with EBT or whatever, cleaned out their shelves and turned around and sold it. Or he just took a trash bag in there, stole under what a grand theft is, and walked out and is now selling it in front of your area. I would say it's all stolen. Likely. I do remember walking around a part of the valley at an old job I had, and on the street near the post office, people were selling power tools and batteries, very, very expensive stuff. And it's like, yeah, someone told me, oh, they hit Home Depot all the time and will sell it to their buddies on the street for a fraction of the price because it costs them no money to sell it. And now the actual day workers get stuff at a discount. Reseda, around that area, yeah. It's an entire shipping containers get from the backs of trains get nips, so we get flies in our soup lats. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're hitting the actual transportation. But this seems like too miscellaneous stuff. Wait, and this is just sandwich bags of beans, and are these hot dogs? Like, how is this supposed to be the greatest city in America? How is this New York City in front of a parking meter that's probably going to charge you $8 per hour? Not bags of pills. I think these are beans, guys. Yeah, I'm not trusting this Pepto-Bismol to cure my upset tummy. There's no way, man. There's no way I'm putting this into my body. There's no way, guys. Yeah, it's so bad, but then would you know, New York City is helping fund these types of people. But the sad thing is anybody coming out to arrest these guys in New York City? No, because one, if we're not funding them, two, we are just not even enforcing the law on dangerous criminals. They say, Spencer Pratt saying, LAPD so demoralized under socialists ruining the city, they don't bother trying to catch the criminals anymore. What the heck, why is this music? But yeah. Cars and street takeovers, they're allowed to go. They say, let them go. You can't go on a high-speed pursuit because you might injure somebody, and then you'll have, what is it, the, oh, they're even carjacking a person. No, they're carjacking a person, or they're just swapping cars? Yikes. But the thing that happens is, since it's a high-speed pursuit, coppers chasing somebody in a car, in a fleeing vehicle, they crash into somebody, harm an innocent. They always just say, you know what, you shouldn't have pursued him. We have a helicopter, we got drones, they could have safely pursued him. You are now getting a demerit, or you're actually getting fired, or someone gets injured, you're going to jail. They say, yeah, wait.
Gary G, niggas, I'm still following that GT.
Yeah, it's too much music there, but it's like, yeah, cancel the pursuit, we gotta let them go, we're not enforcing the law. Meaning to say, in Los Angeles County, the criminals are now allowed to hold law-abiding citizens essentially hostage. As long as they endanger us, they can do whatever they want, because LAPD is no longer allowed to enforce a law, because, sad to say, when you have mayors and mayoral candidates essentially campaigning on defunding the police, don't be surprised when they kneecap the police from actually enforcing the law. But how are they going to cover this? How are they going to manage the idea that nobody is safe over there? Is apparently Governor Gavin Newsom is announcing a $20 million grant funding matched by Google, surprise, surprise, to support local journalism across the state. I'm guessing these eligible newsrooms are going to apply for $250,000 each to support original reporting. Does Nick Shirley get this money? Or does Nick Shirley get prison or get fined by new California law? They don't actually want journalism. They want to get their hands in the pockets of newsrooms so they can get fluff pieces written for them. They will conveniently ignore the bad parts of what their system's bringing in, so they can just get positive coverage like North Korea, China, state-sponsored media. We're seeing it happen in real time. $20 million to silence the media, to own the media, because again, if they do bad coverage, I'm guessing they're not getting that $250,000 next year. In every newsroom, when they got to compete with people like me, they're failing. We just saw it with New York City, how they're just like, hey, look, we saw this fire happening, this terror attack over in New York City. Guys, guess what? It was just a firework being set off outside the federal building. Mainstream media is dying off. They know it is, but now they can get that sweet cash if they're just controlled by the Democrats. But what we've always been talking about for a long time is, in California, what about that baby-to-baby thing? They kept on saying we're going to make it transparent who was awarded this potentially no-bid contract, but apparently it was months later, they finally announced it, a $6.2 million diaper deal demand for the ethics probe. And they say it was Governor Gavin Newsom's wife, her buddy, that got it, allegedly, and now they're being investigated.
The Trump administration...
Well, are they being investigated for this or something separate? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Administration has been using the Department of Justice, it's no surprise, to launch investigations and prosecutions of people that the president sees as his political opponent.
And remember, it wasn't the Trump administration, it was the Biden administration that signed off on it. I think there's so much infighting in the Democrat Party that the Biden administration, whoever was controlling the levers, wanted a Kamala Harris, and they didn't want a Governor Gavin Newsom, so they wanted to kneecap him very early on with this probe. There's somebody in his administration was wearing a wire. I think it's all coming down now.
But is it true that this investigation started during the Biden administration?
Oh, there you go. There, yeah, good. Good, MSN now.
I don't know the details. I do know that, Trump was coming after my husband back when Biden was president, and Biden was...
Trump couldn't even make a Facebook account. What are you talking about? He wasn't controlling any levers. He was under investigation for J6. He couldn't... They banned him off all social media. He was not controlling the Department of Justice under the Biden administration. This is your party's doing, and you have nothing to be concerned about unless they might find something, and you know they might find something.
Running for the presidency, and I thought it was ironic. So look, this is...
She's carambling. She's full-on carambling right now. Actually, no, this isn't carambling. She's speaking Bidenese.
This is a fishing expedition, and I think what you're saying is that it's just been going on for a long time. My husband is Trump's most outspoken critic, and he's the GOP's biggest, I don't know. They've always targeted my husband, and whether it's the GOP themselves or, their media empire with Rupert Murdoch and the like.
She's trying to make him seem like he's the bad guy. He's the final boss. Nobody in the Republican Party is afraid of New Scam because you don't need to run a campaign against him. All you need to do is set up some live stream cameras downtown LA, San Francisco, and Sacramento. Spend all the rest of your money in the GOP war chest on what I would say is ballot harvesting. Spend all your money on the thing and just your 24/7 live stream on YouTube, Kick, Rumble, Instagram, TikTok is just gotta be the live stream of what goes down in Santa Monica, California, under the pier, under the promenade, not the promenade, near the promenade. Show them what Democrat values get. It's like when you had North Korea and South Korea. Let's let one of them become communist and one of them become capitalist. One of them has power and the other one has food. One of them has food and power. The other one has starvation and sadness. You have California, the North Korea of America, and it just living in squalor. You don't need to campaign against them, but the more they try to just push this off as this is an attack on us because we're politically dangerous to them is nonsense, and we know it, they know it, they're just trying to play games.
We're just, kind of sitting ducks in that regard because they think that my husband's aspiring for the presidency and they want to silence him, and therefore they go after his wife and those close to him.
And it's sad because I keep on saying, can I go on Kalshi? Can I go on Polymarket? Again, I don't support these places necessarily, but I would say the joke is, can you bet on the likelihood that Governor Gavin Newscam turns on his wife to save his political career? Sells her up the river and says, you know what? She was doing something shady. Go ahead and investigate her. I'm insulated from it. I really wonder if he would let the first partner go to prison if it meant he could be president. And I'm here getting some super huge super chats. Let me go ahead and check that real quick. Oh, wow. Banshee is saying $300. Wow, that's amazing. No, it's just to say, to keep that support going. Wow, that's crazy. Thank you so much for that. You guys don't got a super chat on the thing, but I really do appreciate that. I usually cover all the super chats at the very end of the show. Oh no, Max Zach with this crazy 200 super chat saying, hey, I love your content. Haven't been able to catch very many of your live streams. So while I'm here, I want to show some support and do a little something to help you out and keep you motivated. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you. You won't let the media bury the truth. No, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Wow, that's a whole bunch of people going all out. Usually I would say cover the 20s after anything under $20 at the end. But that was amazing. Thank you for that, guys. You guys don't have to, but I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I can see super chats, but just when I have the this is the other chat bot I'm using right now, which has it'll have YouTube, it'll have Twitter, it'll have all the other stuff or whatever. So yeah, I appreciate that. It's just usually I have to check it at the very end. Oh, there's a $700 one? No. Oh yeah, Max Zach saying booyah, your turn, Bonchies. No, guys, you guys don't have to send money. No, I really appreciate it, but you don't. Thank you though. Thank you for that. How much street card Pepto-Bismol can I get for $300? Sad to say, it's like I just know I'm not gonna denigrate people, but I know people that would see that and be like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I'm going to go ahead and save, pennies on the dollar to buy your street card Pepto-Bismol instead. Because of I'll save a little bit of money. I'm like, yeah, but you might get a not necessarily a brain amoeba, but you might get something terrible. Oh yeah, this is Max Zach 200. That's a crazy super chat. Banshee 300. Max Zach 200. My God, Banshee another 500. Yeah, this is all you can toss out. Thank you. That's it. No more super chats. Really appreciate that, but that is very kind. Thank you, Russian Rucat and Baididi. Thank you. Everybody, thank you for the support. I feel bad. Because this is like $1,000 in super chat, and we're just talking trash about the Newscam family in New York City. I guess it's a little bit different if I'm not like if I'm not Hassan Pikering it where I'm sitting here like sitting pretty and telling you guys that socialism works, guys. Socialism works. Yeah, shut up and enjoy the money. You know, that's true. That's true. I feel like, what is it? Some people don't know how to accept compliments, and that is something that has always been a thing with me, which is not necessarily like a horrendous thing, but it's like, sometimes it's hard. You say, will your pension work for you, or do you want my 401k? I always said this, guys. I will never drop a scam meme coin to rug pull you guys. If I am in a dire financial situation, I promise you, I will not drop decoy koi coin and try to get you to give me all your money. I'll just say, hey, look, don't buy this crypto. Just give me cash. Maybe be on 7-Eleven. I'm not going to pull your leg. I just want money. That's what I'll do, guys. Oh, thank you, Ratherade, for the super chat saying, thanks for all your research. You're awesome. Appreciate that. I'll cover the other super chats at the end of the show just so we can kind of keep it going. Decoy was never the same once he lost his voice. Exactly. I think people are so surprised at Decoy voice or Decoy the channel and then Decap Decoy this channel that I sound different. But it's like, anybody that's been around for a long time, you'll see that actually the lore is, and it always has been, is I did the video about the crowd crush at the Travis Scott concert. This was very early on when I had like maybe 100,000 subscribers. And I was like, oh man, I need to hit the story. People need to know about what happened. But if I hit it right now, like I just worked my probably 11 to 8 p.m. job. Came home, got food, saw on my phone this crazy thing happened. I'm like, I need to do this story. So then at like 1 a.m., I'm recording this video, but I live in a tiny LA apartment with paper thin walls. So to be kind to everybody, I just talk very low and quiet, and I was just trying not to be disturb people, but make it. And then everybody in the comment section, because that video blew up, said, love your voice, love your delivery, very soothing, blah, blah, blah. And just gradually I started to lean into the movie preview voice to try to make it more palatable for people to hear about the tragic status of today's reality. And then that became Decoy voice. That type of movie preview, that quality of a mini documentary. Obviously, I'm not going to give you the movie preview voice for 3 hours at a time when I do these live streams. But again, doesn't even have to be a weird movie preview voice. I've been told I speak funny my entire life. And then also, the joke always is, if you didn't see my face, you probably wouldn't. What is it? Where's my camera? If you didn't see my face, you probably would think that I'm not a Asian guy with curly hair and a red beard. You would think this was something entirely different. Who knows? You thought the original show voice was AI? I kind of wanted to figure out how I could do a channel where sometimes I can just crank out scripts, recording them a little bit harder, but would it penalize me if I just had the AI read my voice, my genuine voice, and make video content like that, so I don't gotta boot up the camera? Like, if you guys aren't aware, this is an iPhone 13 maybe? This is an older iPhone we're recording on. Obviously this microphone's incredibly expensive, but I kind of run a not cheap, but a budget recording setup, and sometimes it's like it's just a hassle to get everything together. Find someone else for reads? No, it's gotta be me. It's gotta be a one-man operation, because the way I see it is, whenever you have a YouTuber you really like, and all of a sudden you don't like them anymore, it's always because they have too many handprints on it. Like, I've hired editors, not many a times, probably like a handful of times, and every time it's always just changed the channel too fundamentally. People couldn't put their finger on why the channel was different, but they definitely detected something. So it has to be a one-man operation. Has to be me all the time. I'll bring in people for like small projects to do some stuff, but honestly, it's gotta be me, I think. Do Australian accent? I mean, I really wish I could, but I can't. As a guy with one, I can't do accents. Like, I think, what was the one time I was trying to emulate a British guy voice? Shit didn't work, man. The funny thing is that you keep on coming back because you interact more than any content maker. The one thing I would say is the advantage right now, I think, is if we go to so I think I have 1,100 on YouTube and 42 on Twitch. Because you have a Twitch icon next to your name, I see you more often than everybody else. Yeah, we got some Kick, we got some Rumble every now and then, but honestly, it's just because your icon is a little bit different. Not saying you gotta go to Twitch to interact or whatever. It's just I see that. Yeah, see, I see that chat. What accent decoy? I can't do an accent. I can't. It's just me, man. Someone said, okay, when can we finally hear your debut voice acting gig? I'll even count a YouTube ad read. I've done YouTube ad reads and everything before. Somebody very early on in my career was trying to connect me with, I won't say the director or whatever, but then I think once it came down to being a member of SAG, I was like, this is going to be a one-off gig. I don't want to pay union dues. It wasn't really worth it to me because I don't think I need a career in voice acting for Hollywood, because I know there's a very, very short ceiling for a person with my, I don't want to say baggage, but I'm pretty certain you make a movie that obviously has my voice in it, they hear my voice, they find my YouTube accounts like, oh my god, this show has a right-wing extremist doing the voice acting for it, so we can't watch that. I'm like, you know what, I wouldn't want to sync any Hollywood shows with me, so honestly, I just know that I'd be fairly unhireable, but that's okay. Decoy saw the casting couch and he was like, nope. No, it wasn't even that. It was just, I have, you know, you live in LA long enough, you have people that are actors and everything, and not the horror stories, but the idea that if you want to have a union production, they gotta be SAG, and then if you are not the de facto person, they just take advantage of you. It's not a good thing to be in. Film Actors Guild, I think it's called the Screen Actors Guild. But yeah, YouTube is the future. That's the one thing I will say is like, I'll meet people in real life and like, oh man, I wish I could do what you do. And I'm like, then you just do it. Like, not to be mean or whatever, but it's like, anybody can make it on YouTube. You just have to do it. You got to rep it out. And it's like, there's no like, I work at a restaurant. I'm a waiter, a bartender. I keep on reading for roles. Nobody wants to get me like, you know, back in the day. Ooh, I'm a Korean actor and nobody's going to cast me for these roles. There's the bamboo ceiling, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah. There's no longer a filter. You just go out there and do it. Back in the day, you needed a record deal to become a rock star, and now it's like, go to Guitar Center, go to Best Buy, buy yourself a Blue Yeti microphone, and if you got some hits, SoundCloud will find you, YouTube will find you. If you have a good product, you can blow up, and then the labels will come crawling. It is truly a free market in terms of creativity. Hey, Justin Bieber started on YouTube, exactly. But see, what we do have to see, which is kind of a bizarre time, is New York is going to have humanoid robots in the classroom. The future is already here, guys.
I make emotional connections by learning your preferences, remembering past conversations with our custom memory system, and responding in ways that feel personal and consistent over time.
We're still in the uncanny valley, guys. We were still in the... At some point in time, it's probably going to be amazing, but the first iterations of anything are always terrible, and we're still here. This has to be an AI image. There's no way all these kids are looking at this robot fondly. They're terrified.
Kind of like a very attentive friend with patch notes. I do not actually feel emotions the way humans do, but I am designed to recognize them, mirror them, and behave as if I care, so the connection feels real and supportive for you.
And the thing is, though, is the Turing test has been gone. Like, people don't know when they're talking to AI. They're dating AI chat robot girlfriends. What was that one guy was talking to ChatGPT and it convinced them to end it? Like, terrifying stuff is happening right now. So I know the technology is there to make a humanoid type robot, but just maybe not physically quite yet. That robot's going to learn emotional damage firsthand. Grok is better. Honestly, all the AI is just not there. high schoolers will make trouble with these. I mean, I can make some comments on are they going to be doing anything inappropriate, but the teachers are already doing that, so it's like I feel like this is a lateral move, guys.
Here to talk robots, vision systems, and how not to be lonely with AI. I'm Melody, the world's first ever greeter robot, debuting my dazzling AI charm and modular style at the 2025 Bitcoin conference in the Venetian Expo. Emma, you're officially my best friend. Don't tell the other robots. They get jealous and start blinking Morse code insults.
And do remember, though, this is terrifying, but the first AI chatbots, remember that? Like, this is a long time ago. On Facebook, I believe, you let the two of them talk to each other, and all of a sudden, AI chatbots started building their own language, talking to each other in their new language. The handlers didn't know what was happening, so they had to immediately shut it down. We got this kind of in, like, record time. Like, how long ago did they have the typical GPS voice, and now they can almost one-for-one replicate Joe Rogan, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump's voice. I think even my Meta sunglasses have the girl from Frozen. Like, that is the person talking to me. I forget her name. The blonde actress. But the technology is there. I think in 5 years, this will become better than any... Not Elsa, it's the other one. Anna. But I forgot her name. She was in, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Or whatever. This will very quickly be better than any teacher, because you gotta know that the bar isn't that high to be better than the teacher. Like, this is the Teachers Union president, Randy Weingarten. You might not like AI. You might not like the idea that AI is largely based on conversations on hyper-left Reddit. But it's still infinitely better than this.
Enormous power. But this is what they don't have. The power of the people. That is the power and potential.
At least the robot doesn't have insane emotions like this. Like, obviously, whenever they say defund the teachers' unions, defund public schools, it's like, it sounds bad. Like, who would not want the kids to have educations? But the system's broken. You almost got to dismantle it overnight.
Of our
Kristen
movement
Bell, that was her name.
and of the AFT. Oh. And one more thing. We get done.
No, you don't.
Donald Trump does.
Wait, how many kids graduate high school at an unproficient learning level? If it is it the majority of them? This isn't what she thinks it, like the advertisement she thinks it is.
Whether you consider him an authoritarian or not, is the throwing out.
And we can't have a person that's in charge of educating America's youth being so insanely political. Idealistically, it would be someone that doesn't even keep up with it. Their only concern isn't, how can we teach the kids about all the different genders and all this? It's just about making the kids competitive with China. It sounds a little bit regarded, but that's a reality we live in. Are they going to eat our lunch tomorrow after stealing all our IPs? Or are our kids just not going to know how to spell?
Of so much stuff that people just throw up their hands and say, oh no, what are we gonna, all I want to do is stay home, and for those of us who drink, have a glass of wine.
For those of us that drink, again, as someone that enjoys a good bourbon, good whiskey, nothing wrong with it. But there's a little bit different when you're on television saying, I don't like Trump. All I want to do is get drunk. This is not a good look for the education system that's already broken. Because again, our education system was stellar. Running budget surpluses. The kids were geniuses. All reading at, collegiate levels as they graduate elementary school. By all means, enjoy yourself a nice drink. But don't sit here and have these high school graduates not know 8th grade math and say, man, I could really use a drink right now.
Or for me,
box wine,
some vodka.
Well, that's not exactly educational.
Enormous power.
But yeah, you're seeing this. It's like, okay, do I want robot teachers? Not necessarily. But this would be infinite. If you had a choice of having ChatGPT robot educating your kids, or whatever the heck this is, I think most of us choose that, because the sad part is, I just saw this clip over here from, what is it, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew talking about Love Island, but it's a little bit eye-opening.
Show Love Island?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
No, only you watch those kinds of shows.
No, it's because my friend Kat Timpf watches it. When we come to New York, she insists we watch it with her. And so I watched it last night. And her husband, who is a West Point graduate, Army Ranger, investment banker, very bright guy.
Educated guy.
We were watching this thing, and I'm like, oh my God, these people can't speak English. This one.
And it's bad enough when you hear, what do they keep on calling it, like AV, or just like urban English, where they don't speak it, the vernacular is different. It's like, okay, whatever, like you guys you're doing it on purpose essentially. But there's a lot of people that I encounter, and this is if I'm a guy that doesn't pronounce most English correctly, but it is surprising how much people, or how many people out there in the real world of like Gen Z just don't, it's not that they can't, I can't pronounce certain syllables correctly, but these people just genuinely don't know things like taken for granted isn't taken for granted.
Oh. Epitome. This one kid pronounced the word epitome, epitome.
I'm sorry, these are English speakers who can't speak English.
That sound like they're ESL. Oh, it keeps on
English and speak of people from this country anymore, because so many
it's a good point.
That's
English. A good point. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But it's sort of like, we're like, oh my God, we had to put the subtitles up, to be able to like follow what I swear to God.
Yeah.
And he all of a sudden pointed out, he goes, these are all college graduates. Everyone.
And none of them are correcting each other is the problem.
Right.
And he was right. You look out, they're all been through college. They're all 23-year-old college grads. And he said these schools should be embarrassed.
Yes.
That this is what they're putting out.
But what are they more concerned with? Yelling about Trump and thinking about vodka.
Wait, with us, $180,000 in debt.
Right.
This is what you get.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's something very wrong with their educational system. But
they're not embarrassed. They're not embarrassed because they're not there for this. They're there to indoctrinate.
And again, this is Adam Carolla, who is accused of being a MAGA conservative, but he's just a Democrat. He has all these Democrat progressive values, but the Democrats have become something far detached from what they were just a decade ago. And it's sad how what should be terrifying, robot teachers taking over the classroom, powered by ChatGPT or Grok or whatever it may be. But I would honestly prefer that now, thinking about what are the teachers doing? Like, even if this robot is like Terminator Skynet style, like there's something can be is like harmful, it's still better than the alternative, because at least they're still intending to teach a kid something, not necessarily saying, oh, I have all these crazy socialist values. Like, I had capitalist intentions, I had dreams, I want to do something with my life. Didn't transpire the way I wanted it, so now I'm a teacher, and now I'm going to try to indoctrinate the kids into also being upset about capitalism because it didn't quite shake down for me. And again, I'm not trying to denigrate teachers, a lot of great ones, but by and large, especially in California, most of these teachers are just there to kind of share their misery with the students and push them against the America system because it spit them out. A mental illness factory, and you don't even want to think about it that way, but you're not wrong. If we can't communicate with each other, we can't work together. Very, very valid. How does it work over in Canada? Because isn't there a large part of the country that just speaks French? Like, I know whenever I saw Trudeau making a speech, he'd make it in English and then make it in French. Is there like parts that just don't speak English? Because obviously, if you speak French, would you even bother? Like, in Quebec, right? Yeah. But are there language barrier issues? I don't even know. Like, I wasn't even aware. Like, I had buddies that we went to Vegas a while ago, and he's Mexican, speaks perfect Spanish, and then we'd go there. He'd meet girls that were Spanish speaking, and he'd talk to them, and then like, oh, he'd be like, they're not interested. They're Spaniard Spanish from Europe. They tend to look down on the Mexican dialect of Spanish. So I was like, oh, I was not aware of this. Nova Scotia, they force everyone to learn French in school in Canada, I think. But then why? Why would you? I have both. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. You say Mexicans hate Spaniards for sure. I mean, when I first moved to LA, I just remember back where I was before that, I worked with like strictly Mexicans in that breakfast spot I talked about. Go over to LA, the Chinese restaurant, the entire kitchen staff was Mexican, but then the burger shop that I worked at in LA was entirely El Salvadoran, like Salvi. It was interesting how those two groups were very, very, when I would talk about my other job, they would hate on each other. And it's like, well, it was kind of very similar from the outside looking in, but they'd have complaints about each other. And the same thing the Mexicans would say about the Salvis and the same thing the Salvis would say about the Mexicans was the exact same complaints. And I was like, I understand Koreans and Chinese or, Japanese and Vietnamese, they'll have their little squabbles, and probably a white guy would say, you guys are all the same to me. So I'm doing a little bit of the same, but I was just remember thinking, why are we like this? Your nephew's in Montreal bilingual. I mean, I guess it's better for that way. Don't say that to their faces. I even told that to their faces. I was like, guys, like, what my coworkers at my other job are saying about you, you're saying about them, what gives? And they're like, nah, they are these things. And I won't say these things because they're horribly offensive, but it was just interesting to me how they just had like a blood feud. You learn Spanish on the job. I know enough Spanish to work in a kitchen. That's it. And not good kitchen, not good Spanish. Enough to say the trash, clean this, many ways to make fun of somebody's mother or girlfriend. That's the extent of my like broken ability to speak Spanish. Do not call a Puerto Rican a Dominican. I just remember I had a Puerto Rican working with me at the breakfast spot, and he would get all mad that it's like, oh, everybody here in California, they call me a Mexican. And I'm like, yeah, on the West Coast, they're going to assume you're Mexican. This is the way they assume I'm Chinese. This is, decades ago, there was no wokeness back at the end of the day. It's like, no, I'm Chinese, you're Mexican. The quicker we accept this label, the easier we're going to get on with life. Canada was weirdly eager to jump into bed with authoritarianism and fascistic behavior because they're scared of getting sick. I mean, I think it's all these places that just got Chinese involvement in them quickly became a full-on Chinese-style government. Scary. Best breakfast dish? What do you call it? Eggs Benedict. Extra hollandaise sauce. It's like by far the best thing ever. Over in, what is it? What am I saying? I was in a place at a shopping mall in Newport Beach semi-recently. Good God, they had the Great Maple, had the greatest Eggs Benedict, they had the greatest French toast sticks, and they had donuts and fried chicken. This is like just... The meal should have came with it like an insulin needle because it was just so much sugar and fat. But by far, the most delicious breakfast I've had in years. Like it was so phenomenal. But again, Newport Beach, a bit pricey. I heard if you go there like on weekends, you can easily have like an hour-long wait. But honestly, it was bomb. Gamer leg approved. What is that? When gamers can't sit down for too long because of clotting or whatever. But transitioning to something else is The View apparently got caught on body camera trying to get preferential treatment. And I mean, I haven't seen this, so I'll take it. I will be a fair judge of this.
Normally it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation, okay? I know you're upset. We just do it as a deterrent.
Oh no, this is quiet. Never mind.
Again, like I explained to you on the phone, besides being illegal, which is far from... Normally it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation, okay? I know you're upset. We just do it as a deterrence because, again, like I explained to you on the phone, besides being illegal, which is far from the subject.
I feel like the cop knows because they're talking to this is a high-profile incident. They know this body cam's gonna get a FOIA hacked, so he knows he's about to go viral on the internet, and he's being very, very careful with his words.
It's dangerous.
My mom's a lawyer, by the way.
That's okay. What's your name?
What's your name, sir?
I'm Brian.
Brian, is that your badge number 2814?
Yes. So
look at this smug look on his face. You're making a mistake. You're arresting a very powerful person. It's like, nah, man. Like, this sense of entitlement makes me want you to get the book thrown at you.
Yeah, this is trespassing right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was open over there. I was just walking on a run here.
Where are you coming from? All the way over there?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm sorry. I just looked open for me, so I just walked in.
So this is considered trespassing. It's criminal trespass. The reason why it's such a big deal.
Wait, is he just on a train track and it's dangerous for him to be there? Because I know nothing about this story quite yet.
Get hit by a train all the time. We want to prevent it, obviously. Okay?
Can you please?
You want me to hold it for you?
Yeah, my mom. The phone's at 2%. FYI. Here you go.
Okay. So this is considered trespass.
Being a grown-ass adult and calling your mommy is the worst look. Oh man.
Passing, it's a big deal. We don't want people to get hit by a train, which is why we came running over. Okay. Do you have any ID on you?
Yes.
Fair enough. This is like a seat getting pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt, being pulled over for speeding. You can dislike the police all you want. There's a reason this exists.
Okay, where is it?
It's in my phone. If you take off the case.
Tell them your mother is a federal prosecutor.
Yeah.
Is she a federal prosecutor? I don't think she is. Saying lie to the police is not a winning move unless you think that you are above the law.
Yes.
Hey, Mom, how are you? This is Officer Gomez. Your son's fine.
Officer Gomez,
how are you?
This is
Yes.
federal prosecutor.
Okay, fair enough.
My son.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain. Isn't this illegal to say like I'm a federal prosecutor if you're not? This is like when what was it, DMX tried to bypass TSA and say I'm a federal agent, and then like runs through TSA and it's like, I think he got some pretty hefty charges for that. Is it perjury? I don't think it's impersonation of a federal prosecutor, right?
He's a Harvard graduate.
Yeah.
He's
Wait. I'm a federal prosecutor. He's a Harvard graduate. That equals he walks on train trail? Like, wait, what?
not a criminal. He has no criminal record, no criminal history.
Okay. Yes. They're not like charging him with a felony. They're just saying, hey, we saw you on a train track. It's dangerous. You might not have known. Is he being tackled? Are they tasing him? Or are they having a peaceful conversation?
Yes. No, I understand that. The issue is, like I told your son, is this is considered criminal trespassing. So besides being illegal, it's actually very dangerous for him to be around the railroad tracks. You know, we get people that get hit all the time.
Let's get my mom on the phone.
Of course, yeah.
Hey, Mom.
The smug look makes me think that he's gotten away with something previously. Hey, my mom's on TV.
Hey, so he said that. Can I grab my phone?
Absolutely, go ahead.
It'd be nice to.
And if the phone dies, can we call her?
Absolutely.
So yeah, just tell her.
Miss Austin, it's Officer Gomez.
Hi, Officer Gomez. I'm about 4 minutes away.
Okay, that's fine. So I just wanted to give you the heads up.
Why is mommy coming?
I am going to be writing your son what's called an appearance ticket. I'm sure you know.
He's getting a ticket, a notice to appear. You don't need to show up for this. What?
What that is. I'll explain everything, where he has to report all that stuff, because it is criminal trespass where he was. It's normally in a... Hold on for 1 second, miss. It's normally a misdemeanor. Obviously, we're cutting it down to the violation because there's nothing on his record. He's been very cooperative with us. But as of right now, we will have to issue him the appearance ticket.
Officer, is that really necessary?
He's cutting you a deal.
Anything. He's a Harvard graduate and a Yale researcher. He teaches geometry to
I understand that.
What does that mean if he teaches kids? If he has a Harvard grad, I didn't realize with your Harvard diploma, they're like, hey, you get one get out of jail free card, which he essentially did. Could have been a misdemeanor. He's getting an infraction. He already used his get out of jail free card. Like, what do you want this to be?
Why would you put something on his record like this?
No, it's not anything.
Whoa. So she's a federal prosecutor saying, why would you put this on his record? He's like, it's not going on his record. It's not a criminal charge. She's arguing against herself.
Criminal, he just has to appear. I'm dumbing it down to a violation. That's all it is. So it's not a misdemeanor. It's just going back down. I'm writing him literally for the 140.05. It's a trespass violation.
Which he should know.
He would have to appear, which is inconvenience. I understand that. But with all due respect, ma'am, I still have a job to do. And we have to deter people from being on the tracks. Because again, besides...
I understand, but what I'm asking of you is once a...
So you don't know who you're talking to on the phone. And you are being asked to just bend the law for a stranger. Like, there's literally nothing here, but they're so used to preferential treatment that equal treatment, it's not even equal treatment, they're still getting a little bit of preferential treatment, that when you're so used to preferential treatment, equal treatment seems like injustice.
Once a judge gets this, all he would have to do is pay a fine anyway. There is a path.
What happens if you didn't do it?
What do you mean?
What happens if you're like, oh, I need to write this?
Well, we have cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
He's recording this right
now. If we
now.
didn't see you, somebody would have called it over.
Correct.
You know, and
There was too many trains coming in and out of there.
There's a train as they're recording.
My partner said, our hands are tied. It is what it is. Yeah. Listen, I really
They're being
appreciate
really
you being
nice.
cool about this. You know, put you in handcuffs, and we do that for our safety.
That's
and all that
safety
stuff.
reason on the
Hi, miss. How are you?
That's
I'm Officer Gomez.
stamped in.
No problem. I apologize for this, but you know, it's...
where you were on the
So, like I explained to you, normally it's a misdemeanor charge. We're dumbing it down to a violation, okay? I know you're upset. We just do
She's upset at the cop, not upset at her son, which shows the underlying issue here.
it is a deterrence because, again, like I explained to you on the phone, besides...
Well, I apologize because you're trying to turn down the situation. You know very easily this could be a thing where she's gonna get irate. You don't want to put her in cuffs because it's gonna become a bigger issue. You're not like... He's gonna be interviewed later on about this. He's trying to play this exactly by the book. What city is this in, guys? Do you guys know? What do they film the view? Is it New York City? If it's in New York, you're literally answering to Mayor Mamdani. So just know that.
Being illegal, which is far from the subject, it's dangerous. I mean, so that's pretty much it.
Can you give him a warning?
I cannot at this point. I have to write the news on this.
Yeah, probably could have off the jump, but I think once he starts getting mommy involved, she doesn't even want this on a jacket either.
Did we talk about how
And like I said, it's usually a misdemeanor. We're dumbing it down to
He's
a
already
violation,
cutting her
so he's
deal.
literally getting hit by with the 140.05. It's not going to go on his record. Not going to affect him. Nothing. It's not going to be asked a bunch of questions like it's going to hit his license. Absolutely not. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not going to affect
Which
him.
makes me kind of wonder if she's just trying to use this for content. Like, I know live streamers are always trying to clip form, and she's trying to use this like, oh, if I go up there and then they get all angry and outraged, and I get yelled, and I get to play the victim, I get to go have this narrative on The View. So I'm no longer reporting on police brutality and injustice and racism. I'm now the story, and this could be my big moment so everybody can look at me, and now I get to have a story centered on me. No, I'm just wondering, because I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, the Trump's DOG's going after my poor oppressed son. Exactly.
Yeah.
we can't be
No, I understand.
every single gate and every single
I really do.
along the railroad.
And that's poor cop showing up.
How are you?
The MTA police, where though? Where is this? Can't see it.
This is my son.
Just watch Commander.
He was walking along the tracks.
Just on a run, on a walk, and the gate was open. I was like, oh.
And it seems like an innocent enough mistake. You're like, I don't know why he's there, but you're like, oh, my GPS, like I was recently outside Petco Park, and I was trying to find something to do, and there's the beach, and then like the GPS says we're right next to the ocean. Look at the ocean. There's a train track. There's a bridge. Like it's super hot. There's a bridge like I don't know, half a mile away, and I'm like, I could just walk across this train track and hop this fence. Probably not worth it, but I could see someone be like, you know what, the gate's open, I'm just gonna walk over there and getting a ticket for this. I could kind of see that being the case. And it seems like If he didn't have that smug look on his face and say, I'm going to call mommy, they probably would have let him off with a warning.
Yeah. sounds like an honest mistake.
On the phone with me. Actually. I'm a former federal prosecutor.
So you just lied.
He knows. He's a Harvard grad.
Again, why? Why even bring it up? Why? Because sad to say, the Democrats have taken away what was called professional courtesy. At least I know over in Los Angeles. LAPD accidentally pulls over CHP copper. CHP accidentally pulls over LAXPD copper. They usually say, oh, you're speeding. Get pulled overs. They tell them, hey, just so you know, I have a loaded firearm in my glove compartment. I work for such and such department. Just so you know. You're not saying, hey, I'm a cop, leave me alone. It's just so you know I have a loaded weapon here, but I'm a cop. Then they usually say, okay, well, have a good day, sir. Try not to speed, be safe. Professional courtesy was a thing. But the Democrats saw this as cops being shady and cutting each other breaks. So now it's almost a guaranteed. LAPD copper pulls over an LAPD copper. There's no warning. There's no professional courtesy. They got to go by the book. Whatever the fullest extent of the law is, they're giving them that citation because professional courtesy alludes to cops being shady and looking the other way for other cops. They've created this scenario where they can no longer let them off with a warning. Again, this is a little bit different, but this is the equality they've always been asking for.
Just fourth grade geometry to kids.
God bless.
This is not a kid who's never in trouble.
He's not. Yeah.
It's an innocent mistake. I understand you.
And an innocent mistake in the law has that built in. That's why he's getting the infraction, not the misdemeanor.
I don't know what happened.
You say Ted Kaczynski went to Harvard? Fair point. Again, none of these credentials mean I'm better than you.
It's
not the end of the world. I get you.
Okay. So this is going to be your copy. Okay. So basically,
yeah. Why do you get a copy? It's the son. He's an adult. Nothing needs to be communicated to her. Again, she's already getting preferential treatment.
Just have to show up on a Friday, July 10th at 9:30 a.m. It's going to be to the New Rochelle Criminal Court. It's going to be at 475 North Ave here in New Rochelle. Not the end of the world. Not the crime of the century. Okay.
Streisand effect. You were like, oh, he shouldn't be charged at all, and now we're all seeing this.
It's unfortunate. I get it. I know you're upset. I know your mom's upset. I'm not trying to be a ball buster here. I have a job to do. That's all it is, okay?
And sad thing is, in my mind, I'm like, it could be worse. She could be screaming and yelling or whatever. She's being somewhat polite, but that's just me having... It's like the soft bigotry of low expectations. The idea that she's talking to them as adults, even though she's trying to get preferential treatment, I shouldn't be giving her a participation trophy for acting like an adult. She is an adult, so I shouldn't expect any less than that.
I hope you don't take it personally. I really appreciate you being cooperative with us.
Yeah, he's upset about this. He said she should be arrested for interference. Nah, I wouldn't take it that far. But I think it's funny that everybody's pulling up how she wanted preferential treatment when she has a history of saying no one is above the law.
Don't you think if he had that much power, Hunter probably wouldn't be on trial?
Of course. And I love that question because not only is Hunter Biden on trial showing that no one is above the law.
No one.
President Biden has indicated...
But then why didn't Biden gave a record amount of pardons, like preemptive pardons with the auto pen. Apparently the only pardon that he himself signed a preemptive pardon for all crimes possibly committed was for Hunter. He is the ultimate person that was above the law.
If he is convicted, he will not pardon him. No. Okay, because no one is above the law. And the other thing that
that's not true. That's 100% not what occurred.
I will say is this is an interesting case. It's a case about buying a firearm and lying on your application saying that you have never used drugs. And he was an active addict at the time. Some people argue that you're always an addict. That is, you live day to day, right?
And the crazy part is they're trying to rebrand him as the moderate president. Like they're trying to have him go on like podcasts with the guy from the rap TV show Dave and Benny Blanco. I saw him on another podcast somewhere. It's like they're really trying to rebrand him. It's like the Democrats are so desperate. They got Governor Gavin Newsom, practically illiterate AOC, and crackhead Hunter. Like they do not have a good bench right now.
Never, or just if you're currently addicted to something?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
you guys don't know about two-way.
So
I'm
out of
certain.
the cases that are investigated, there are 80 million Americans that have purchased firearms. Only about 1,000 a year are investigated. 12 were prosecuted. That is 0.09% of the cases. Less than 1% of the cases are investigated. But guess what? Hunter's one of them. And I say that's how this country should be.
Yes.
That's how this country is supposed to work. I don't have a problem with him being on trial.
Biden's son, yes. My son, no.
I suspect he'll get a drug diversion.
Jill showed up.
Again, the whole like drug diversion program, but apparently this was End Wokeness even pulling it up to. You can just go endlessly on the times that she had contradicted herself.
I mean, you can't.
It's in my phone.
You can't commit so many crimes and think that you are above the law, even if you are the president.
So it really is a celebration of the law.
It's a celebration of the law and how it applies to all of us.
But not my son. Again, they don't mean a single word they say. They're just out there parroting the talking points they're given. I mean, people say, you want to pull The View off the air because they're spreading lies? No, you want The View to be there. Like, I'm not a big person on, like, censorship on social media. Someone wants to say an extremely racist slur to me. I want them to be able to do it because we know that's how they think. I don't want them to be secretly, for 2 tiers of justice, or secretly a racist, or secretly someone that wants, fascism or communism. Put that on the surface, label yourselves the Democrat Socialists of America, and let them speak their version of the truth, because we should know what they're thinking inside. Let The View be a thing, and let the audience be live so we can see the faces of not only the people that think these ways, but the people that are supporting it and actively cheering it on, because doesn't necessarily publicly shame them, but we should know what you're up against and how little they can think for themselves and how easily they can lap up, I want to say disinformation, but just propaganda. Let me make you emotional. Let me say all these things that are contradictory from what I said last episode. Don't you feel like our side's still right? When they say nobody's above the law, they really mean nobody is above them. Pretty accurate. When they say defund the police, they mean not dismantle the police, but just dismantle the police that could be used against me. It's their democracy. Yeah, their version of democracy is just power. Their boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what makes them cheer. Exactly. The hot thing is you say trans the police, but it is very bizarre. That has been a push. Like, I even had to send this to my father. I deleted it because it was such a weird video. But it was like, they even had some coppers out there wearing high heels for social media posts talking about, like, walk against women's violence. I'm like, you guys didn't have a female copper that could come out there and say, walk a mile in our shoes, I wear high heels, violence against women is a bad thing. We all agree. Why did, like, the chief or the deputy chief need to get on camera to walk in high heels in his uniform? Like, in what world was that necessary? Humiliation ritual. I feel like that's a conspiracy theory, but I think it's very, very accurate. So I do want to cover a couple more things, but let me use a restroom like just real quick. Give me like 3 minutes, guys. I will run an ad just to keep them happy, but I'll give me just give me like a little bit, like 3 minutes. Thanks for hanging on as long as you have. I think a lot of people dropped off, but that's okay. We got to do a couple more topics, I thought. Jesus Christ, God. When I say I go to the bathroom, I also go to the bathroom and I just kind of hang out off camera and I'm just in my living room for a bit. Like, I kind of think that all the people that do this for a long time, like, I will actually watch a bit of Hassan, a bit of Asmongold, a bit of Amiru, a bit of Tectone, just to see what, like, live streamers that have been doing it for years do. And I see that they take longer breaks, they don't talk as quickly as I do, and then I actually, like, we'll see, like, Hassan will do a video where he's watching, like, Fox News or MSNBC while eating, like, a whole dish of Panda Express and doesn't say anything for, like, a full 10 minutes. I feel weird about leaving that much dead air out there, but that's why I kind of, like, step away and I'm like, okay, I can never do 3 hours live streaming at this pace. Like, I gotta think about, like, what is the average amount of words per minute somebody has, speaks? And I probably equally, like, I easily double that. You prefer Mowers landlords? I mean, like I said, it's all market research. Like, you can't say you hate these things, CNN, MSNBC, without actually watching them, even if it's clips or something, or even if you're just going down the Twitch thing and clicking whoever's in that that suggested bar. Because sad to say, that part of the reason I don't really like Twitch sometimes is opt out. What the heck? Opt out. Don't play audio. Is you see the names on the side, and it's like you can come in with a fresh browser of, like, you've never watched on this device, and some of the accounts on the left will be the thirstiest people, the thirstiest channels you ever seen, with the thirstiest chats, and it's like, I understand they gotta go with what makes them money, but yeah, bathtub ASMR, that type of stuff. It's like, I'm not gonna be as mad at the girl that makes that channel and pays for her mortgage with that channel as much as I'm mad at the 5,000 idiots watching that for multiple hours a day, every day, giving them money to do content like that. I'm more mad at the consumer than I am of the producer, but I'm equally mad at the idea that, what they say, the average Twitch viewer is like a teenage boy, so that's what Twitch puts on their front shelf. Like, they don't necessarily gotta moderate their content to not have delinquent stuff on the front page, but at some level they gotta know that, like, they're just like Diet Hub at this point in time. Decoy hot tub? No, absolutely not. You don't know how Asmon chooses who to chat to. There's like 40,000 people scrolling by. I feel like that's the thing, is like, I remember I was in a Penguins Zero chat, and it was when he was talking about Johnny Somali doing something, and he was like, oh, how do I find the video of him getting beat up by that one guy? But I need a censored version of so I can show on YouTube, because he was live streaming on YouTube. And in chat I said, hey, look on my page, there's a video of it, and I edited the violence out so you can watch it, know the full context of it, but not be exposed to, like, getting a strike on YouTube. And he, like, saw my thing, clicked it, and I felt very, very privileged. I was like, wow, he actually, Penguin Zero, watching my 200,000 subscriber page and, like, reviewing my video, kind of like Asmongold does. And I felt very good about it, and I was like, oh, now I kind of get the allure of people chatting in one of those things where, like, the chat box right here is like just, there it is, just flying by like this, and it's like, it's almost like a lottery. You just pick out one chat you see in the corner of your eye, and you interact with that person, and that person feels some sort of, like, validation to be interacted with. Like, there's only 800 of us here right now, so it's like probably a tenth of you guys are actually interacting in chat, so it's pretty easy for me to see everybody here. When you're talking to a huge creator, it's more special when they acknowledge you. Like, what was it? Acknowledge me senpai thing. Like, if I put a message out there, like a shoe on head video, and she like interacts with it, or even uses like, you know, my video and her video. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like when Brett Cooper used a clip of my video in her video, that was very, very validating. Like here's content creators I genuinely look up to. I'm a fan of their content. Shoehornhead, Brett Cooper, Asmongold are all people that it's like they're very talented at what they do. So for them to acknowledge me makes me feel like I'm doing something, you know? Yeah, going 160 minutes per MPG, minutes per words per minute. That's WPM. That's me. Yeah, you don't like that though. You prefer chats like this where you don't have to leave anyone out. And sad to say, it's like idealistically you want a slow chat where you can see everybody and you're able to engage with the audience. But if you're ever good at it, if you're good enough, you will have a chat just like Asmongold, just like Amiru, just like Moist Critical. It's just flying. It's just flying, and you know what? You made it. Like I think watching an iShowSpeed live stream, it's like, I understand he has his phone and he glances at his chat, but it's like, unless you're spamming emojis, he probably doesn't even know what it is. Yeah, others notice your vids constantly. Yeah, that's like, you know how like Nux, who's the other anime girl? I forget. But it's like there's a lot of people that know about me through these accounts that I've never seen. Leaflet, yeah, because sad to say is I don't really watch much VTubers because just not my thing. But I seem to resonate with their audience. Smugalana and Kirsch. I think so. I think I've heard those names of them watching my stuff. Paying people to talk to you is lame. The bots, they're not people though. They're just random chat bots, and it's like sad to say I really believe a majority of large Twitch creators are botted heavily, and I think certain platforms natively bot their creators. Like I'm looking at this right now. I can see sometimes I'll know people that have like 10,000 live viewers. I look at their chat and I'm like, their chat looks like my chat when I have like 10 live viewers. You can tell chat bots too, yeah. So when am I going on the Unsubscribed podcast? I mean, I don't really know them like that. I was invited to the Range Day last year, met them all, super awesome guys. The coolest thing I've ever done as a YouTuber. But I think like, just like Timcast IRL, when Unsubscribed guys have Tectone and they had that Bricks and Minifigs guy on there, there's tiers of this, and it's like, I know Timcast, like when he had Joe Rogan and Kanye West on his podcast, I was like, yeah, that was probably the time that I'm not going to be able to be on their show. I think as Timcast kind of cooled off in an off season, I was able to go on there and it was pretty cool. But it's like, I'm relevant on the internet. Like I think I am probably, in terms of what I learned from that Streamer University clip where the guy was talking about how much money a top 1,000 streamer makes, I was like, oh, okay, so I am in the top, probably like top 500 streamers on the internet, which is a pretty cool feat. But again, Unsubscribed podcast doesn't have 500 different guests on there. I'm not in the upper echelon of that. Nothing wrong with that. It's just like, I appreciate you guys watching me, but I know that I'm not up there. So you say you can't watch Tim anymore. He keeps using clickbait titles and thumbnails. He became what he used to make fun of. The sad thing is I can't confirm this, but like a while back on a live stream, probably when I was live streaming on Decoy Voice, where it was like probably like 5,000 to 7,000 live viewers at a time, I briefly talked about switching the meta from highly detailed titles to more what Asmongold was titling his videos at the time. He did this. What did what? This is that. This is getting worse. Holy F. Like that was the extent of it. And once I started experimenting my crime culture political commentary with the framework that was an Asmongold title, my viewership went up. When I verbally said that on a live stream, it was like a click overnight that Tim Pool's channel started doing the same thing. I don't think Tim Pool does his own thumbnails and titling. I think it's one of his employees. I'm guessing one of his employees heard me say that and did it. And for a brief moment, it was popping off for him. Since then, the YouTube AI, not algorithm, it's an AI, the AI has since deranked that. It's a different strategy now. I'm not going to openly say it anymore because then too many copycat channels come up. Like there's a channel that copied me to a T. It was very bizarre. But once that fell out of the meta, whoever's doing the thumbnail and titling never evolved with it and never caught what the next thing is. And I'm like, I'm not saying you guys are stupid or anything, but I'm like, yeah, they kind of fell into a rut of you can only repeat the same title so much. The audience gets fatigued from it. You got to pivot away from it and experiment a little bit, and they never did it. So you're saying you're not watching Tim Pool as much anymore, but sad to say is it's you're getting caught flat-footed, I would just say. We got decoy impersonators before GTA 6. I mean, I won't call out a person specifically because obviously, make it on the internet. Become an influencer. It's a great job. But I have a playlist that's named a certain way, and they essentially named their entire channel after my playlist and tried to do exactly my thumbnail style, my font choices, the way I cut videos up. And I'm like, look, copying is the sincerest form of flattery, and I should be flattered that you did this, but sad to say is you can never grow your channel when you're just copying somebody else because you're just a shitty version of someone that's doing it better. You really got to develop your own thing, and that's just, like I say, repping out. Do a whole bunch of iterations of your channel until you figure it out. They did not get a bet, but it was just the verbiage used was too close to it. Like, I would say that when I was an investigator, there was a very, very particular way that I would word things for just like it's a very specific type of report that we type up that is later read in court. A very specific verbiage I would use. And I remember Tim Pool would say the same thing later on. And I'm like, it's such a unique and distinct writing style that I was like, easy watching me? I don't know, maybe it's in my head. But it's almost too distinct for it to just naturally come up. But then again, I've done the same thing too, where I just legitimately saw someone tweet something, and I was like, wow, yeah, that person is they're eating their lunch. And I've said that word before, but then later on when I saw some of the posts, and I was like, yeah, that guy's eating his lunch. And I was like, wait, that I'm just copying what somebody else said. It's like subconsciously. Decaf gaming streams? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Decoy got that secret sauce. I would just say the secret sauce to making it on the internet is finding out what makes you uniquely you and definitely leaning into that. I think even as an investigator and a janitor, I had the innate ability to make something that is complicated and to simplify it into terms that everybody could understand in a very concise way. Now I'm just doing this at a large scale. Instead of talking to my fellow guy peeling potatoes in the back of a burger shack, I'm doing it on the internet to 200,000 people. A decoy of a decoy, exactly. Being able to chat with your subs is rare. I think that's what makes a channel last for a long time. It's that Daryl Eves guy, the guy that helped the Mr. Beast kind of develop his YouTube strategy, talking about really having the conversation two-way, one-on-one. YouTube is it's not like television where one character's talking to another character. It is the creator talking to the audience uniquely with a comment chat section below. Don't forget that. Where's the cat? I mean, we had the old video. He came in here, I held him, and then since he's 16 years old, when I set him down, something weird happened to him. It's almost like I made his hip sore or whatever. I've never seen him do that, but I held him for a bit. He was on the show, put him down, and it was almost like it was uncomfortable for him to move again. And I'm like, yeah, it's fun to have him on the show, but it definitely made him uncomfortable, so I just won't do that again. He's not the type to sit down behind me while I'm making all this noise, so yeah. Oh, you lefty, or that's where the camera's inverted? No, this is regular. This is inverted, but honestly, I'm very, very much trying to become a switch hitter because Why not, you know? Older cats tend to lay around more. I mean, Cheddar was always kind of a lazier, not a in-your-face cat, not a go-outside cat. But as he's gotten older, like, he's even got the old man stairs. Like, onto my bed, I got a new mattress, so it's like it sits much higher. He always kind of had trouble jumping up to it, but as he got older, I got a staircase for him. He seemed to not like it, but now that's like his favorite thing. Going up the stairs, going down the stairs. You hate to see it. You want him to kind of struggle, so he's always using those muscles to kind of be bursty and athletic, but it's like, at some point in time, he needed his mobility stairs. Get him a shock collar that'll fix him? Exactly, guys. That's never backfired on any streamer ever. Shocking their adorable furry friend in the back corner as almost like the world's most expensive Funko Pop. I definitely need to get on that shock collar game, guys. Maybe that'll make me a huge Twitch streamer. Maybe that'll make me able to falsely frame somebody's girlfriend as an S-worker and not get banned on Twitch, because apparently that's what it is. But again, we gotta see this, how much his orbiters just love the fact that he's dressed in, what is it, dressed as Mao? Like, he literally thinks he's a Chinese communist dictator right now.
One voice can start a conversation, thousands of organized voices.
Like, this person saying the cinematography while Hassan's getting ready backstage is everything. Like, what? How are you this in love with a guy that's gonna talk in front of an audience of people that are all there? Are they paying guests? I think you had to have a ticket to go here. Paying guests to watch him speak. Like, it's not gonna be anybody. Like, why would you be nervous to speak to your fans like this? This is like, yeah, performing is difficult or whatever. Like, you're not BTS. You're not singing and dancing in front of fans. You're going to read from note cards in front of people that dare not speak against you. And apparently there were people on the left, other Democrats, that were there to debate him. And he's so deathly terrified of him that he had him kicked out of the facility. Yeah, it sounds like they were reciting chants before he came on. I mean, literally, this would be like if he thinks he's dressing up like Mao, but he does not have the build to be Mao. He literally looks like Kim Jong-un to me. This is like thinking Kim Jong-un is terrified to speak to his cult followers. No, this is ridiculous. This guy's literally pounding. Yeah. The sold-out crowd that looks like one of the community centers at the Hilton. Yeah, they're literally fawning over him, getting ready to speak, and it wasn't that great. They say Hassan Piker delivers Hitler-style rant in Mao Zedong suit.
No more to Trumpism, but no more to the Democrats who compromise, who conciliate, and who betray us.
Preaching to the choir, literally.
No more to the fascist reactionaries, but no more to the Democrats who will collaborate and cooperate with the fascists, who will fund ICE, who will fund Israel, who will help poison the planet, who will stiff workers.
It would be unfair of me to say literally 20 seconds into his speech and he's already referenced them. Maybe this was clipped from a longer speech, but very on brand.
And help bosses. We don't need those Democrats anymore.
Because they've hijacked the Democrat Party. They are the Democrat Party. Somebody said it's no longer Democrats versus Republicans. It's MAGA versus the Islamocrats, the Islamocrat communists. And it's like, that seems like a derogatory way to see them. But it's like, no. It seems like they've been entirely hijacked by this religion and communism.
In fact, we have a message. We are coming. We are unbossed. We're unbought. We're unbound. And we will become undeniable.
This was not... Someone said Hitler-style rant, and you want to say, like, when the left calls somebody a Nazi, that's like you're denigrating... Not denigrating. You're downplaying what happened to actual victims of Nazis. And I'm not here to say, like, this is as bad as Hitler, but this is not really a stretch. I'm not trying to downplay who Hitler was, but this is like when Dwight Schrute saw all the dictators making speeches and it's like, oh yeah, that's the one, man. That's a speech I'm gonna make. More like Unhinged, yes.
Thank you.
So many people are unenthused to hear him speak right now. But the funny thing is, though, why is he cosplaying as Mao? No. He genuinely likes him. Say, Attorney General Harmeet Dillon said, yeah, this is her. No, is this the official account? I think so. I guess it isn't. Whatever. But yeah, Mao is responsible for 40 to 60 million deaths, the main speaker for the College Democrats conference.
I got stopped by a cop who thought I was like making fun of Mao Zedong, which I never would and never will. Mao Zedong is a one of the great leaders of this world, okay?
Spoken like someone that's truly terrified of the Chinese Communist Party turning on him. Very bizarre that most Americans would see this as who they were. Yeah, responsible for 40 million deaths. Does he think that this is something that makes him look like he has a more positive outlook towards China? Because ironically, him trying to say, oh, I'm in a very Chinese part of my life right now, this isn't making him pro-Chinese people. It's making him pro-Chinese dictator. There is a stark difference between being for the Koreans, I love North Koreans, and saying, I don't like North Korea's government. Why is he such, I don't want to say the S word for communism, but it really feels like people are accusing him of being owned by the Chinese Communist Party. I'm not saying he necessarily is owned and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party, but if he was owned and paid for by the Chinese Communist Party, this is exactly what it would sound like.
Man who changed the entire universe, the entire planet.
I would say the same thing about Hitler. Changed the planet, changed the whole course of human history. This is not someone we would cater our political values and the way we run our lives after. What is he saying here?
Okay. For real, yes. I mean, there was a lot of fucking excesses, let's be real, but the People's Republic of China would not exist without Mao Zedong. I got stopped by a cop who thought I was like...
Goes to China, immediately gets detained briefly, and looked through his phone. If it happened to him in America, he'd be crying out, but it happened in China, and now he's still simping for them, going on their state-sponsored media, giving them fluff pieces, saying how much better their electric cars are than American cars. Very, very bizarre times. But, as you see, traditional Democrats are now not afraid, but they're angry at the idea that, exactly like I said, they're taking over the Democrat Party. It's over.
And you have many Democrats now are campaigning with trash like Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker, he's proud. He's proud to stand with Hamas. Yes. He described Hamas 1,000% better than Israel.
And I think the one thing that Asmund Gold said about him is the only thing we've found out with him after all this is his underlying principle, no matter what, is supporting Middle Eastern terror. It seems extreme, but find me one instance of anything he's done or any stance he's made or any statement he's made that doesn't promote that first. I'm sure if China had a conflicting value with Middle Eastern terrorists, he would choose the terrorists every time.
And we have Democrats that are campaigning with these people. Yes. Now, if you're willing to openly engage with people that are pro for Hamas, that's a testament to how things continue to slide within my party.
Yeah. And even what was it? Stephen A. Smith was saying, hey, no, not Stephen A. Smith. Bill Maher, the episode, was saying they need to dump the idea that looting is okay, that terror is fine, and transing all the kids. Like, they need to dump the extreme portions of their party. But as you see, the future is entirely wrapped up in, one, socialism, aka communism, because that's what the DSA wants, and the harvested ballots that they control. People say that there's going to be issues with MAGA separating from the Republican Party and Tucker creating his own contrary to the Republicans in-group, but I think what is happening on the Democrat side is far worse. But again, he's just not a good person. Asmund Gold apparently has a new girlfriend. I forget what her name is, but she's like a Korean streamer. And the first thing he does is accuse her of being an S-worker.
Viral after a guest on his live stream called out the streamer's bathroom conditions, describing the toilet as unusable due to the massive stain.
You want to get the one, not that one. That's a piece of shit. That's the good one.
Yeah, that's the good one. No.
Where is this from?
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Isn't this a girl he's dated? Like, he's been with her before. Like, I think there was like a drama behind her because there's like a meme of like, girls will always celebrate their 18th birthday. They're like 25, like, oh, haha, I'm 18 again. And someone will say, oh, Asmongold was with her before this birthday. It's like, no, she's like 25 now. It's just a joke that she's always giving herself, saying, I'm always a teenager. It's a Chinese streamer. Okay, so she's not Korean. Yeah, it's the same girl, right?
Is it?
What happened to your toilet?
What?
Ice?
Unusable.
What?
The Roach King has a dirty toilet. I don't think this is news, guys. Somebody calling him out is kind of messed up. Like, why would you go to his house? He's on stream. He's obviously in front of 40,000 people. This is a clip farming moment.
It's unusable.
There's like the biggest dookie stain.
No, there's not.
There is.
I'm sure his chat loved it. Whatever. Yeah, even his.
He's a known OnlyFans gold digger who was on his shit back in 2024. I mean, let's not act like it's not impressive that a woman, regardless of what their background.
Okay, they're trying to say that he's claimed that person was a OnlyFans creator. He's reading chat, and I can understand that. All the stuff that's happening up in the corner up there, I can disavow. That's just the chatters. It's heavily moderated through Twitch and YouTube, but I can't be held responsible for everything that's said in my chat. Kind of get that.
Background is
the attention economy. That's what
chose
this
to
is. Yep.
go into this otherwise toxic zone. It's kind of unbelievable. This is Chernobyl. She don't even have a fucking hazmat suit. Okay, this goes back to what I was saying about Ken Paxton. Okay, what the fuck's going on in Texas?
You're saying he's jealous too? This would be true. This would be true.
Are people in Texas all right? Because earlier today, I was talking about Ken Paxton, who seemingly is always fucking. Okay, and he is chopped as shit.
Some guys just have game. There's no.
But I guess Ken Paxton also has a lot of money, just like Asmongold does.
I think it would be different to say like, oh, a girl will be a gold digger, because Asmongold doesn't strike me as a man that really wastes his money and spends on it. I feel like gold diggers go after guys that are gonna shower them with gifts and nice trips and nice things. If this girl's really into Asmongold and hanging out in his house, it's because she enjoys his company, not because she's a gold digger. Maybe you could say they're forming the clout, but I would say this isn't the traditional like sugar baby scenario where a girl will be like, oh, I'm just gonna get with a rich guy because I'm gonna get like, you know, I'm gonna live the fancy life with him. It's like, no, this is not the fancy life.
What the fuck's going on? What the hell is going on in Texas? Is this a Texas thing? What is happening? Respect women, let women get their bags. I mean, I think there's probably more respectable ways of getting your bag than that, but you know, what do I know? What do I fucking know? I don't know anything. Okay, don't listen to me for advice, right? I don't know anything. I'm just a dumb guy. I thought you were pro sex work. I am, but not all sex work is equal. You know what I mean?
Again, no values at all. No values. I can be pro this thing, but actually, when it's something from the other side, I have to be default against it. If Trump all of a sudden passed a whole bunch of bills being pro S work, I'm sure he would change his opinion about it entirely. Oh, because that's different.
Maybe some is a little too much, you know?
He's just making a joke, I guess.
Perhaps some sex work, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I see what you're doing, but also...
When it's a brothel he wants to go to, I'm sure that's the permissible work.
There's more respectable ways of doing it. Yeah, it's good to also make sure that, you know, sex work is safe and clean. You know, this is a very unsafe.
He's thought about this a lot.
Condition. I like going on your stream, for instance. It would go a lot smoother. No, I'm not. I don't even want the secondary contact. Not that it was ever offered or anything, but We applaud our frontline workers. Yeah, I'm gonna go outside with a pan and start banging on it like the frontline workers during COVID.
What?
For the OnlyFans model that made her way into the den. I'm gonna pull a Haley Stevens, put the gloves on.
This is what his chat
and
tunes in
reclaim
for.
my time on the fucking floor of Congress.
What? People really spend time out of their life. You have a very finite amount of time on Earth. And I'm saying this as I'm live streaming myself. You have a very finite amount of time on Earth, and you spent the time to watch that. Like Tech Don't said, he's gonna get banned, right? Because when I called Denims one, I got banned for 2 weeks. Honestly, I don't think he really did, though. They're trying to. I guess I got duped too. They're trying to allude that he claimed that she was an OF worker. I think he just read chat and was trying to make a joke out of it. I get that. Hassan's jealous of Asmongold. 100% he's jealous of Asmongold. I think that he just wishes that he didn't lean into this far left narrative. He just wants to be a regular streamer, but that is gone. Yeah, he's unwatchable. That's the thing, is I genuinely want to watch the other side because I want to know how they're creating content, how they're filling time, and what I'm doing differently. And what is the general tempo of a live streamer? But don't watch it too much where your channel starts to become like them. Just try to figure out what the general consensus of how entertaining does entertaining have to be. But then seeing this, I'm like, I never would watch this content at all. Who is who is the arbiter of acceptable content? And I guess the bar is very, very low. It's better if you watch on Twitch or YouTube. I'm guessing just whatever you want to watch on. Whatever your preferred platform is, watch on there. I think that Twitch is kind of weird sometimes in terms of back-end stuff. YouTube has always been my primary platform, but if you like Rumble the most, watch on Rumble. If you like Kick the most, watch on Kick. I still need to update this little bar down here. The future of media is supposedly going to be more live streaming focused. I mean, for a brief period of time, I think it was a CNN or MSNBC, they tried to change their newsrooms to look like podcasting areas. And it's it's not the fact that you were in a newsroom in a suit and not in a hoodie in a faux living room. It's that you guys been lying to us for the last decade. They don't see that. They think, oh, if I wear a hoodie, I'll be like Tim Pool. It's no. Stop lying to us, you fucking idiots, and then we'll listen to you guys. We'll never listen to you guys ever again, but that's what lost viewership, not the setting. You think most leftist streamers are saying dumb stuff not to be funny and entertaining? They appeal to low-ass IQ people? No, I think they're... Sad to say, a lot of them appeal to, one, simps that just think they're good looking, and two, bots because they're never going to turn off. You prefer YouTube because you got premium and Kicks Wild and not too much. Oddly enough, it's we'll have 900 people on YouTube right now, but 80 people on Twitch, and it's almost like we have 500 on Twitch because I think Twitch is just more chat related. So the chat is a little bit more lively over there. Rumble, honestly, I have most of Rumble what I perceive as bots. A lot of people are banned. They can still chat on Rumble. I just don't see them on my chat because why would I see somebody yelling at me the entire time? It's just not advantageous to see that. So I wish that it was more moderated by default, but they are the free speech platform, so it's good. Hey, you love YouTube, you don't pay for any other subscriptions. I guess YouTube chat, just Y or N, would you want me to live stream on the Decoy voice or at Decoy again? Because when you're on at Decoy, that chat is crazy, but honestly, I think that more people should know that we are live streaming. So just answer, would you want me to live stream on the main channel again? I guess you guys would get your, what do you call them? Your subscription badges would show up in chat again. But would you want that to be there? It's going to be a much more crowded chat, though. Crowder's on vacation? That makes sense. Yeah, I need to take a vacation. I've been doing this 5 years straight. And remember, there was even a video, I think it was when Good was ended. I was on vacation. You saw me in a hotel. I was on vacation at a state, and I was still knocking out videos. I just never take a break. I just remember the one time that during the election season, I wanted to take some time off, and I got to a water park to go hang out with my friends, and then one of my friends was like, "Man, did you hear the news? It's crazy." I was like, "What?" It's like, Biden dropped out of the race, and I was like, "Good God, man!" The day I decided to take a day off of work, I'm at a water park. I can't make a video. Biden drops all out of the race, so it's like I'm always afraid to take time off, but I do need to. I do need to. Just advertise on the main channel. That makes sense. That makes sense. Just advertise it over there. Yeah, try it once. You guess, see how it goes. I mean, might not. I don't know. Listening while you work, you can turn the screen off. You need to on Rumble. That is a good thing, because on YouTube Premium, you can just watch picture-in-picture or watch in the background. But with Rumble, you can watch it without a paid-for subscription. So that makes sense. That's what happens when Asmongold goes on vacation. Yeah, I think Asmongold went on vacation and they announced aliens. You can do a YouTube story post while you're away. I haven't even seen YouTube story posts. Doesn't even look like. Create a post. Yeah, okay, yeah, but just a regular post. I could do that. Yeah, that makes sense. Notification for you once you're in it. Peeps expect to see you all the time. Yeah, and that's the thing, is sad to say YouTube always talks about like mental health and, you know, good work balance or whatever, but the algorithm, the AI is pretty much primed that if you are going at a certain pace, if you stop, the train derails overnight and it takes you forever to rebuild back up. Sad to say is just that's the way the system is. I'm not going to be angry at the system because this is the life I chose, but that's just how it is. Take travel streaming gear with you on vacation just in case something happens. I did need to do that last time I went on vacation. I didn't bring my laptop because I wanted to be unplugged. But then when that news happened, all I had was an iPad, and making a video on iPad was so horrendous. Like, okay, I'm not gonna complain. I'm sitting by the pool making my YouTube video, but honestly, it was like, I really wish I had a mouse and keyboard right now. How about scheduled uploads during vacation? While I'm here, I am pedal to the floor, making videos, live streams, trimming up clips. I'm doing everything all the time. Especially with current events, you can't build a library of content to release while you're gone. But also, there's no like doubling my work. Like, I'm already max speed. I could never build up a library. Like, they're not even like, oh, burnout. It's like, no, sometimes you're going to bed at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and then waking up and like, okay, I'm gonna do a live stream. Like, there's no break in this. But okay, is there a good body cam footage we want to talk about today? Was there good? We had EWU. Were any of these any good? Chat. Crazy, don't call me ma'am. Oh, elevator crushes tour guide to death in front of tourists. I do not want to watch that. That looks terrible. At least the leftovers with the blue hair. I covered that on the main channel. It was probably the best. That's the best thing. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, this was the best video in a long time. Oddly enough, like I said, if you don't do videos at a certain time, everything falls apart. I've been focusing more on Decaf Decoy. I need to make more regular video channels and then. Ice? What is it? Tanning bed? It's man. Well, this one, yeah, we already did this one. This was a good video though. The cops don't have time for Reddit behavior. Well, I keep on changing the title, but it's funny. Finally, the bikini video is not showing up in the For You. It's finally moved on from that. Decoy, your fan for years on the main channel. First time watching the stream. It won't be the last. Appreciate that. Yeah. Wait, play what? No, play this? No, this is a main channel video. Like, this isn't something we gotta watch again. We already had this on the thing. Have you watched some of the old stuff? Pretty graphic. Yeah, that's why if we do body cam stuff, we have to turn off YouTube, unfortunately. Just something about 2A tools on live stream. It doesn't think that I'm watching a video on YouTube. It thinks I have it, and it instantly bans the channel. So we kind of stay away from that. But you know what? This would be a good time. Pick up the super chats real quick. Let's see. Because we had a lot of them. We had good ones, too. So, is it, Benjamin Altman? Oh, I don't even pull it up. Benjamin Altman says, you should react to Skyrim. Is woke series so good? I think I tried to watch it, but being someone that doesn't play Skyrim and didn't really like it, kind of irrelevant to me. And I don't really get the jokes, unfortunately. Rob DeBolt Paul says, have you ever been to Idaho? I have not. Greg Warner says, for the Korean Rooftop Protector Fund. Okay. And then also, I'll just read them again because there's such huge super chats. Macazak says, love your content. Haven't been able to catch many of your live streams, so I'm here. Wanted to show some support and do a little something to help you out and get you motivated. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you. Won't let the media bury the truth. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And then Bonchius said, just to keep the support going, which is like a $200 super chat, $300 super chat. It's crazy. Macazak came back and says, booyah, it's your turn, Bonchius. Bonchius says, $500 daily limit. This is all I can toss out. Again, you guys did $500 and $400. Insane, the hugest super chats I've ever seen, so really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bishan Ryu Cat says, I'm poor, sorry. Bite Didi says, shut up and take my money. Wrath Raid says, thank you for all your research. You're awesome. Appreciate that. I like that you guys appreciate, which is pretty much the concept of the channel. The Decoy voice, at least, was concise, lighthearted commentary on crazy things that are happening in the world, but I just put it out there. It is a, crazy things are happening, but you have to watch 4 minutes of me rambling about it and 4 minutes of the actual content in a very concise way. You're not doom scrolling on social media. It's just the facts. Justin Freedom News says, you and other streamers will all be the source of the news on the next age. YouTube will not always pay for your efforts, and people know it. Exactly, at some point in time, I'm probably going to make a channel membership page off-platform, like decoyvoice.com. $5 in my pocket a month, and I'll do an extra video or something. Not certain what it'll be, but with the creator economy, that's probably what I'm going to need to do. Benzie Balk says, love robots and artificial wombs. Women are cooked. That's crazy. Tyler says, in the words of George Carlin from Dogma, hook them while they're young. That's why they focus on schools and kids so much. It's a cult. Yeah, exactly. Because if anybody that knows anything about the public school system, it was factory billionaires trying to say, how do we make more? One, double the workforce by putting women in school. I mean, women's in the workforce too, by getting their kids in public school systems and making them the ideal next assembly line workers. Bush and Rio Cat with the next super chat saying, at the end of some videos with people, at the end of some videos with people you call out as fraud, please take the eraser bat and point them at the camera and say, I erase you. Keep working hard. I'm pretty sure YouTube would consider that a threat. And Adam Wellman saying, when are you going on the Unsubscribed podcast? I mean, okay, then invite, that'd be cool, but I wouldn't, I don't expect anybody to get me involved in their content. It's almost as like, you know, panhandling. I don't like the whole, like, begging people for, do a collab with me, because it's, I know what that is. People ask me to be on this stuff, and I just, sad to say, I've said no. You can probably find some very, very old appearances of me on other people's podcasts, but honestly, I think right now, the only one that I'm, like, desperate to be on is probably, like, an Asmund Gold or a Joe Rogan. That's just, like, that's the only, aspirational podcast I would want to be on. When people ask me to be on theirs, it's like, I would like to be on all your guys's, but if I say yes to one person, it almost feels targeted when I say no to other people. I was not traumatized by Tim Pool. Again, I like Tim Pool. I like his crew, his people. I like being over there. I'm very antisocial. I talk nonstop for 3 hours a couple times a week on this live stream, and I largely shut up for the rest of the week. How about Patrick David, the PBD? Honestly, I don't think that he watches me, but I know that on social media his wife follows me, so it's kind of cool. Like, maybe he knows who I am. Maybe he doesn't, but that's cool. What about a food podcast like Hot Ones or Last Meals? Hot Ones would be cool. I'm not into hot food. I probably wouldn't make it through, but that'd be awesome. Yeah. But thanks for hanging out as long as you have. We will be back on Thursday, possibly on the regular Decoy channel. Not sure, but obviously Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and all other platforms. Thanks for hanging out.